Yeah, baby. We are in the building. So Streamyard is telling me that I'm live, and I'm looking at the iPad here to my left, and it looks like I am live on YouTube, which means all of y'all should be able to see your boy Vyyyper live and living color. And I believe that YouTube just sent out the notification. So now all of you all should know that we are live. And it's crazy because even before I hit go live, it's telling me I had 6 people in the chat, which is kind of crazy. I'm not sure what is going on, but I got bots hanging out, or some of y'all were eager for the beginning of tonight's show, but we are here and we are live. So wait no more. Welcome back, baby. Friday night. You in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Friday Night Vyyyper, baby. We are going to be getting it in tonight. You see the title of the live stream. We're talking about the next big social media phenomenon, which happens to be voice, apparently. So, yeah, I'm going to give the people about a couple of minutes to file in, just in case they don't want to miss the legendary Friday Night Vyyyper intro. And then I'm going to work. And I am going to work. So I'm going to need y'all to hurry up because we're not waiting around too long. We're not waiting around too long. We're about to get into this introduction, and we're about to go to work. So y'all might want to hurry up and file in. So according to YouTube, we're up to 10 now. All right. People are filing in. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I don't know what's going on. Seems like more and more people are decided to do things on Friday night now, which is kind of interesting, but that's cool. Hey, you do what you got to do. Vyyyper will always run Friday night. Friday night belongs to me. Have been for the past 3 years. Ain't nothing changed. But I appreciate everybody trying to do their thing on Friday night. That's cool. But Friday nights are mine. Friday nights are mine. So, all right. Oh, 16. Okay, now we're talking here. Now we're talking. I like this. Yeah, I like this. What's up? I see y'all out there. Give me a minute here. And let me make sure my mic is situated for the festivities, and then we're gonna go to work here. Seriously, appreciate you all hanging out each and every Friday night, man. We've been doing it for what, since 2018? Yeah, 3 years now. This last year, yeah, 3 years. We've been doing it for 3 years now. Almost moving into year 4. I don't know. Not quite yet, but yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. So, all right, 16 people are waiting. Let's go to work. Let's see what we got. Let's see how the conversation goes. We're in the building. So, current time, 6:28 p.m. Central Standard Time, which means you are in the right place. You are on the right YouTube channel, baby. Yes. Now, most of y'all that I see in the chat here, you are not new to this, so you know what's about to happen next. But for anybody that's lurking out there that has never been a part of one of my Friday night live streams, I'm going to need you to pay very close attention to this next part. It is very important for you and your neighbors. Very, very important. Woo! Very important. So, now that we got that out the way. So if you are new to Friday Night Vyyyper, this is a part of the live stream where I'm going to need you to turn your volume down. Because if you don't turn your volume down, I cannot be held liable for what your neighbor think about you listening to some loud dude on YouTube. That's on you, not on me. That's on you, not on me. So now that we got that out of the way and the new people have been warned, I can turn the decibel level all the way up. Yeah. So, for the last time, you want to turn your volume down right now. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you, because I warned you. Now, let's go ahead and begin the festivities and see what we got. Woo! Yeah, baby. Warm up the bus. Woo! What's up, people? This your boy Vyyyper, the man about tech, and we are live. Welcome to Friday Night Vyyyper, baby. Woo! are back. We are live on YouTube. Woo! Yeah. Yes, baby. That is what I'm talking about. Yes. Hell yes. Now, before I get started with tonight's festivity, let me see who I got in the chat tonight. First on the list, actually, about when I scheduled this live stream early this morning, there were people out here early this morning, although I kind of lost who they were because YouTube deleted them, but there were people in the chat like at 9 a.m. this morning, which is kind of crazy. But shout out to those of y'all that were here first thing early this morning. I saw y'all hanging out in the chat. It's kind of crazy. But first on the list tonight is C Over. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got Jeff Hale. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, baby? How you doing? We got Ray out there. What's up, Ray? How you doing? The Apple Jockey, Alan Jackson is here. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got My Tech Review. What's up, bro? How you doing? iOS Gino is here. What's up, bro? How you doing, baby? Joseph Hardison is in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing? Leon Green is here. What's up, bro? How you doing? And we got Craig. What's up, Craig? How you doing, baby? How you doing? And my homie from the UK, Marvin Wallace. What's up, bro? How you doing? My dude 504 is here. What's up, bro? How you doing? And we got James Herrera. What's up, James? How you doing, baby? How you doing? My enforcer, Janosis is in the cut. What is going on? Janosis, what is going on? Who else we got? Let me make sure. What is this? It's Simply Pops. What's up, bro? How you doing? Hey, what is this? Whoa! Summer Silvery is here. Oh my goodness. What is going on tonight? Oh my goodness. Hello, Summer. Oh man. Now, normally I see Summer every morning in Clubhouse because she does the daily affirmation room and I hang out there every morning. But I'm not used to seeing Summer here on Friday nights. Obviously, she was a guest a couple of weeks ago, but oh man, Summer is in the building. What is going on? All right. So actually, I did invite a couple of people on to be on here tonight. I don't know if they're going to show up or not. I know at least one is coming. I don't know if the other people are coming, but I figured tonight I want to talk about the next big phenomenon that's happening right now in social media. Voice. Now you're like, Vyyyper, what are you talking about? So 2 years ago, Gary Vaynerchuk, if you don't know who he is, I don't know what rock you've been living under, only one of the most successful, famous entrepreneurs practically ever. But Gary Vaynerchuk said that voice would be the next big thing. And he said this 2 years ago. Now, I think when he mentioned this 2 years ago, he was talking about things like Siri and Google Assistant and Alexa, because obviously they are like on all smartphones and most modern technology. So I think he meant that there will be an evolution of those technologies. And to some extent, a little bit, but not nearly as much as the other thing that's happening right now. Voice. As a social media platform, voice. Now, you guys have heard me talk about Clubhouse over and over again, which is a voice-first audio platform that is blowing up over on iOS. But because of the rise of Clubhouse, we now have other competitors nipping at their neck, like Twitter Spaces. Yes, Twitter has their own carbon copy version of Clubhouse, which is kind of crazy. We know that Facebook has just been in the news for decided that they're going to build their own Clubhouse competitor. Instagram has been rumored to be building their own Clubhouse competitor. Actually, how the hell is Facebook and Instagram both building a Clubhouse competitor when they're owned by the same company? What the hell is going on? What are you doing, Mark? Why are you building two? What? Huh? Okay, whatever. But yeah, I digress. I don't understand that, whatever. So you got Twitter Spaces, you got Instagram, Facebook. There's an app called Stereo out there. I've never used that one, but that's another Clubhouse like clone, I guess, or whatever. So there's a lot of voice platforms rising up right now. And we are kind of like the perfect storm for these platforms just because of the current climate of the world. Current climate of the world. All right. Let me see if I can out these invites real quick. Oh, we got my man Dan from Creator Fundamentals. What's up, man? How you doing? There he is. That's what I'm talking about. We got a bunch of heavy hitters out here. I'm loving this. What's up? So yeah, we got the rise of all these voice platforms, and they're here to stay, you all. These voice platforms aren't going anywhere. Clubhouse has some serious backing, and even though I complain about their server issues religiously, because it seems like every damn night their servers are struggling, which is kind of crazy, but Clubhouse is here to stay. They have strong backing. Elon Musk, I believe, is investing in part of Clubhouse. So when Elon Musk backing them, they're definitely in the building. They've had other large figures on the platform like Mr. Beast, Kanye West is supposed to be doing something with Elon on the platform. Mark Zuckerberg was actually on the platform too. So Clubhouse is not going anywhere. Twitter is major already. So Twitter has Twitter Spaces. So, they're looking like they're going to expand on that. Right now, Twitter Spaces isn't what am I trying to say? It's in beta. Twitter Spaces is in beta, so it's not really accessible to a lot of people right now. But they're trying to build that out. And obviously, whatever Mark Zuckerberg is going to do with Instagram and Facebook, and their own Clubhouse competitors. So voice is here. So Gary Vaynerchuk accurately predicted 2 years ago that we were going to get to this point. So he was right. We're here, and it's kind of crazy. Yeah, hold on. Let me think on real quick. All right. And it's DM real quick, and then we will rock and roll. All right, so that's done. So yeah, I just find it interesting. And I cannot talk, for a person talking about voice, I cannot talk tonight. I just find it interesting that all of these, that all of a sudden, seemingly out of nowhere, I guess not really out of nowhere, but seemingly out of nowhere, voice is the next big thing that's happening right now in social media, and it's just mind blowing. But I have used Clubhouse. I have been on Clubhouse for over a month, and I've talked about this before. But I think the platform has amazing potential. The networking possibilities are like limitless, and I believe that your experience on Clubhouse is pretty much what you make it. I mean, like I said, we got Summer Silvery hosting daily affirmation rooms every morning. I mean, this stuff is amazing. So I don't know. What do I think about Twitter Spaces? Now, I haven't used it too much. I mean, I've just been listening on conversation, but from what I've seen, it's literally a ripoff of Clubhouse. They got their speakers and their listeners. Now, it has a couple of additions that Clubhouse doesn't have right now. Like they have emotes on there, so you can actually like cheer and throw up emojis and things like that. So it seems like it might be a slightly more advanced version of Clubhouse, but still a carbon copy ripoff. Check the tech. What's up, man? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Yeah, but like Summer was saying, like Summer is saying, the pandemic has definitely sped up the arrival of the voice platforms. Hold on, y'all. I need to send out one more message here. Let me take care of this real quick. Gonna copy link. Got to go into the gram. I got to go into the gram real quick to pull this off, and then we are going to go. Boom. All right. Cool. So yeah, we got the rise of these voice platforms, and they're not going anywhere. And I think it's amazing because it's different from what we've had before. Obviously, you got your Facebook, you got your Instagram, you got your Twitter, you got I don't know if I would call YouTube a social media platform, but YouTube is something different. Obviously, you got Snapchat, TikTok is out there doing their TikTok things, and then you got these voice platforms. Now, these voice platforms, I don't know. I feel like they kind of lend themselves to more authentic interactions because it's like you have to get dolled up to be on camera or anything like that. And they're happening in real time. There's no replays, at least not for Clubhouse. There's no replay. All the conversations are happening in real time. So if you're not there, you miss it. There's no editing. There's no rehearsing what you're going to say. You either know what you know or you don't know what you know and you get exposed. But everything is real, raw, authentic, right off the top of your head. No preparation, no nothing. It's just out there. It's just natural human emotions out there. Now, obviously, when we were more of a gathering society, we used to have these type of interactions in person. But with COVID out there and the inability of us to gather in person, we are relying on technology and social media more than ever to have these person-to-person interactions, even though we can't be in person. I mean, Clubhouse and damn near the next best thing. It's almost like, it's kind of like talking on the phone, but not really. But it's so raw. It's so passionate to think that's happening on that platform. But yeah, voice is here. I invited a few people to come on here tonight to talk to me about voice. I don't know how many of them will be coming, but one is already here. So this person is definitely qualified to talk about the rise of voice and social media, given that she lived on Clubhouse with me practically. But we got to welcome back the lovely Liz Brousseau to the show. Hey, Liz. Okay, why you're muted? You're muted. I need you to unmute your mic. Why are you muted? Okay. There you are. All right.
I'm better. Hi.
Now you're unmuted. Okay, how you doing?
So good. How are you?
I am good. I am good. Thank you for joining me. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for having me again.
So, Liz, tonight I want to come on here and talk about the rise of voice, all these voice platforms that are sprouting up out of nowhere, and you are qualified because you Clubhouse almost as much as I do. So, what do you think about the rise of voice in social media right now?
Man, you know what I'm thinking? If this was a Clubhouse conversation, I would not have had to put my makeup on.
I did not ask you to do that, y'all. I did not ask you to put on makeup tonight.
Summer, Shannon, give me an emoji if you feel that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm like, look at, we can see that Liz needs to go to the hair salon. Yeah, so that's kind of convenient. I mean, I think a lot of things. I think it's easy. I think it's convenient. I think it doesn't matter what you look like. And there's always an element of being judged by what you look like, right? Like, especially like for YouTubers, like we're on video and I'm like, I feel like I need to adjust my lighting because I feel like my lighting's crap. I don't have to worry about that when I'm on voice.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, some are definitely agreeing with you. Yeah. It's funny. I've heard different ladies talk about how they are judged by how they look when they're in their comment section on their YouTube videos. Some people are like complete a-holes about talking about how a woman looks and what she's doing on camera that has nothing to do with what she's actually presenting as far as content goes, and it's crazy. Yeah. Definitely unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that makes it a ton more convenient. You can do it anywhere, right? You can do it like, I probably shouldn't say out loud, you can do it driving in your car.
I do.
But do you? I do too. You guys, I live in the country though. The only thing that I'm gonna hit is a cow, literally.
But the people like to judge me for doing different things while I drive. I have my headphones on while I drive. My headphones have transparency mode, so y'all can't even come for me. Leave me alone. But in my car, I have a mount that I put my phone on, so it's like right there. But I have it at eye level with the road, so it's not like I'm looking down at the console. Everything that I interact with in my car is at eye level on the road, so I'm looking at the road and whatever I'm interacting with at the same time. So I don't endanger myself or anybody else. Although it's still slightly distracting, but yeah, I'm good. But yeah, I definitely while I drive. I do that.
Good. It's not just me. But you see, like, we can't YouTube while we drive.
No.
You can't live stream while you drive. So you can you can listen to a Clubhouse while you drive. And I'm sick of listening to the radio. So yeah, I think it's amazing.
So this argument kind of reminds me of the VR versus augmented reality argument about how voice is, you just mentioned that voice is accessible practically everywhere we go. But caveat on that though, you don't really want to be having voice conversations on these apps out in public per se when we get back to normal, because that would be kind of weird. So there is a limit on how much we can use them in public, because they would just be strange at that point.
You just want to be on like the train going downtown to work being like, let me just piggyback off that comment.
Right. Who does that? Nobody's doing that.
I do it sometimes in my office because you're at your work sometimes.
I am.
And you and I are chiming in like person
my coworker is not on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure by now he knows how to succeed on YouTube.
Right? I know. The poor girl who works with me is like, are you talking to me or?
But it is funny. I definitely use it at work a lot, but it's cool though. But yeah, the other thing that I just alluded to earlier is that the voice platforms and how real and authentic they are lend themselves to a certain level of intimacy that you don't get on a YouTube or Twitter or Facebook. Like that's the word. There's a certain level of intimacy with being on Clubhouse and talking to people on Clubhouse that doesn't exist on anywhere else. Not in my opinion anyway. What do you think?
Well, yeah, for sure. But also like, yeah, yes to intimacy, and yes to like, you can really learn, right? Because the people who are teaching are like, they're really talking and they're really engaged. And so they're kind of like getting intimate with their topic in a way that you couldn't have. Like you couldn't even have that in a classroom at university if somebody was giving a lecture to 100 people, right? So I think having that, like, look at the crazy, amazing people we've had a chance to talk to since we've been on Clubhouse. And like, I'm sure you've talked to amazing people. I know I've talked to amazing people, and we never would have had the access to those people.
Right. Yeah. The the rooms that I have found myself in since I've been on Clubhouse have been kind of crazy. And the people I've had access to talk to, kind of things that I hadn't had access to beforehand. But yeah.
I know. Hey, why is the snowman can called the snowman? I'm just so curious because it's -50 outside right now, and I want to know.
All right, man. We got a question for you. Why are you called the snowman? She wants to know, man.
Snowman.
She wants to know.
Do you also have to say really nice things to your car to get it to start? Is what I want to know.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
so I got a small bone to pick with you while I have you here.
Oh no, Summer, we are going to need to bring you on now.
Ain't no back and forth one. Ain't no back and forth one. Why are you not on Twitter right now? Why are you not on Twitter? Why?
I don't know, because I have ADD and I feel like that's like one too many things for my brain to handle. That's a pretty honest answer. I go on Twitter. I get all my news from the Twitter. This is so lame. Oh my God. All of the people are going to judge me for this. I'm okay with it. I get all of my news from the 24-hour, like the trends, like whatever's trending, like the top 10 trends. I'm like, if it's not trending on Twitter, then it's probably not news I need.
FYI, Summer agreed with me. You should be on Twitter. She agreed with me, though.
Summer, you think I should be on Twitter?
Yes! Yes!
What is on Twitter that I can't get on Instagram?
What? Instagram? Nobody lives on Instagram.
I don't even know what Twitter does. I don't even think I have a Twitter account. I might have a Twitter account.
So, the way...
What do we tweet? If we're on
I know there are multiple levels to Instagram. Like they got pictures and they got stories and what they call reels and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't talk to people in real time on Instagram. Like you can literally talk to people in real time and get news in real time on Twitter. Twitter is where it's at.
I see. Okay, well maybe I'll get Twitter. I'm not even big on Instagram. I'm really not a big social media person, which is hilarious. Summer says Twitter is hard to grow on. I've tried tagging you multiple times.
But she's not on Twitter. Yeah.
Summer, we could co-host. Hey, take me off for a second because my mascara and my eyes are having an issue, and I wouldn't have this on Clubhouse.
I will bring you right back. See, these are other things that you have to worry about with a voice-only platform. Your guests ask you to take them off the show so they can redo them. Summer, somebody tell her, like, Twitter is where that Twitter is life. Before Clubhouse, like, I was all in on Twitter. I still am all in on Twitter, but I don't really know how I feel about Twitter Spaces. But I will tell you guys what I've noticed about Twitter Spaces in the limited time I've had to like be on Twitter Spaces, because right now it's still in beta. So since it's still in beta, I can't host a Twitter Spaces because I don't have that asset, but other bigger figures have, and I've been chiming in. I've been not chiming in, but I've been listening to their Twitter Spaces. But for whatever reason, there seems to be this hatred for people that are using Twitter Spaces toward Clubhouse. I don't know why. Like, who pissed on your dog? Like, why are you mad at Clubhouse? Like all types of bitterness for people that are on Twitter Spaces toward Clubhouse. I don't understand it. It's kind of illogical to me. But let's bring Liv back in because I don't. Yeah.
I look like I was crying like my dog died. But Summer, Shannon, tell me you relate. You get mascara in your eye just the right way, and then it makes you cry. See, things we don't have to do on Clubhouse.
You realize you can never see that on camera, right?
Oh.
That's not going to show up on the camera, especially not the webcam.
Oh my God, so funny.
All right, Summer says, side note, I was just in the room yesterday with Robin Williams' daughter. She's a voiceover actress for cartoons. Wow, that is the Clubhouse, man. Clubhouse is crazy. Oh, so now we have the answer why Snowman is called Snowman. He inherited it years ago. We don't know how.
So you're not actually in the snow. That's what I want to know.
And Summer and Shannon are relating to your mascara.
See? The ladies know. The ladies know. Things we don't have to worry about on Clubhouse.
See, another thing you don't have to worry about with mascara, Twitter. You could be on Twitter and you don't have to worry about your mascara on Twitter either.
I was trying to load it. While I was crying.
Yes! On Twitter.
So if y'all see me dabbing my eyes, I'm not like crying about our friend Vyyyper. He's not breaking my heart or anything. I'm just have mascara in my eyes.
So she will be okay. She will get through.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. So we got Clubhouse, and now we got Twitter Spaces. They're doing their thing. And then, like I said, Instagram, Facebook, whatever they do, and that Stereo app, which I've never heard of. Have you had any interaction with that Stereo platform, or whatever it is?
Yeah, no, I haven't done anything but Clubhouse, but I heard you talking about Twitter Spaces. So what's the story with Twitter since you do Twitter? What do you know about Twitter Spaces?
To be honest, not a lot. I mean, I have been in a couple of Twitter Spaces listening, and from what I've seen, it's literally a cutout of Clubhouse. It's a carbon copy per se.
Really?
Really. Now, they do have some nuances that are different from Clubhouse. Like, you know how in the Clubhouse room, they have like the role for moderators and speakers, and then they have the next row for followed by a speaker, and then they have everybody else in the audience. There's none of that on Twitter Spaces. On Twitter Spaces, they have people that are speaking, and then everybody else that is listening, and that's it. Yeah. There's no hierarchical crap like you have on Clubhouse. So I like that a little better because you know how people get in their feelings about not being in a certain role on Clubhouse, and it's just ridiculousness. But yeah.
Oh, see, I like how Clubhouse has this. You and I have such differing opinions on the Clubhouse stuff. I think you should say goodbye, and I like the different tiers. Tiers is a bad way to say it, though. I mean, I don't think it's tiers. I just think it's good for me. Like if I'm, say, in a Clubhouse room with like, I don't know, whoever who's teaching on something really great, and I like to know who they're following because then, you know, I'm more curious about them.
Yeah, so right now, it's interesting that you say that because right now on Clubhouse, there have been some type of a lot of people are accusing other people of being frauds and not being legit people. Oh. So to your point, when you look at that role of people that are followed by the speakers, that kind of adds some legitimacy to those people because the big speakers are following them.
That's kind of what I think. And then, but did you know that people are paying people to get moderator?
Oh, I'm sure they are. Yes. I don't know why.
People are paying other people to become moderators.
I mean, look, we have people paying for Clubhouse invites. I mean, nothing surprises me anymore.
I don't even. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, but the crazy thing about Clubhouse is that people are literally getting into their feelings about how these tiers are stacked and where they are in the tier. Like, why are you getting mad? Like, obviously, if you are in a room with a bunch of people that don't know who the hell you are and they don't follow you, you're not going to be in the followed by speaker role. Like, get over it. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So here, that's an interesting conversation because then it goes to like your traditional niches. How do they work in like the Clubhouse space? See what I'm saying? Because like in our niche, people follow us, right? So you and I would show up in like the followed by space for like if we're talking YouTube stuff. But if you and I jump into a room, like if I jump into a room that's like, I don't know, how to change my tires or like make a good meal plan, none of those people are obviously gonna know who I am because that's not my niche.
Yeah, so we'll be in the regular audience.
Yeah. So why be in your feelings for that?
Exactly right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it all depends on who you know and who knows you. If people don't know you, then you're gonna be in the regular audience with the rest of them. And kind of like when I'm in the room, I was in the room the other night with Mr. Beef when he was on that Good Time show on Clubhouse.
I know I couldn't get in. Do you know that it maxed out?
Oh yeah. Not only did it max out, Mr. Beef got kicked out of the room at some point because the server got messed up. And he had to end up using somebody else's phone just to like proxy in. It was ridiculous.
Oh my god!
Eventually, he got back in, but it was all by the end of the show that he actually got back into the show the regular way. So it was goofy. But in that room with Mr. Beast and all of them, nobody on that stage followed me. They don't know me. So I was in the regular audience, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, it's cool. I'm not in my feelings about this. It is what it is.
Totally. Oh no, I wouldn't be in my feelings. Mr. Beast doesn't know who you are. Surprise.
At least not. Actually, he did follow me on Twitter for a short period of time. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. But then now he doesn't anymore. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's just weird that people get into their feelings about stuff that's outside of their control. But for whatever reason, they let it like play with their emotions. And it's just like, bro, it's not that serious. It's an app. Dude, what are you doing in your real life? Come on, man.
Yeah. That's crazy. Twitter is the place to be, apparently. Tech, thanks.
Yeah, Twitter is the place to be. Yeah, you need to get on Twitter. Summer says people are getting paid to be on Clubhouse. Yep, I believe it. People want to keep the rooms open for days on end, and they'll pay people to keep them open.
Wait, what? Why, Summer? Why do they want to keep them open on days on end? I'm only blacking you guys out so I can wipe my eyes.
She goes, so I believe that people want to keep the room open as long as they can, because then they'll show up in the algorithm as far as like when people first open the app and they see like it'll be one of the top rooms that they see when they get on the app. So I think that's why they gotta keep the room open. Which is
so it's for like cred.
Yeah, it's literally to manipulate the Clubhouse algorithm, basically.
So that they look like they're
so it looks like they have their own popular rooms or whatever. It's goofiness. It's really goofy.
Yeah. So, and what are they? I just wonder what you're kind of getting. Like, what are you getting out of it? Okay, so here's a good question. What are you getting out of Clubhouse?
I am building relationships. That's what I'm getting. I'm meeting all sorts of cool people and making cool connections and things like that. I mean, I would never know who you are had it not been for Clubhouse. So here we go.
Totally. So isn't that like, I don't know. I find that, I don't know. I guess like that's why I like Clubhouse, is because I'm getting like, you get to another way to meet a whole bunch of friends all over the world that are supportive and networking and just fun. And like they talk, like nobody, literally in my backyard, there's like 400 cows. Like nobody in my neighborhood is talking about YouTube stuff. Like I wouldn't have people to vibe with on that. So what are the people who are wanting to pay all this money? Like, what are they getting? Is there some, I don't get it.
I think it must be for clout, because I kind of brought up the question too. I don't know what having a large following on Clubhouse gets you besides like clout. Like it doesn't really mean anything right now. I don't think. I mean, I might be wrong, but I mean, it doesn't really mean much to have a large following on there. Like I don't know if people are looking at it like they look at that on Twitter or YouTube or anything like that. Having a large following on Clubhouse literally means nothing right now, to me anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me it doesn't mean much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. And I'm interested to see what Twitter does. I'm really interested to see what Facebook does. It probably won't be long before Instagram has, something similar. It'll be interesting.
It will be.
Summer was in that room and the host kept cracking his audio.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'm not sure he's using a good mic to do that show in there, but it is what it is.
More people in the rooms, and the more hours spent, the better.
All right. Summer says the founder said, because I joined like the town hall meeting for Clubhouse, they said that they're going to allow analytics for us, which will be awesome. All right. Analytics for Clubhouse. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then, the other really interesting thing about Clubhouse, which makes me wonder, like, I'm really interested to see what all the Clubhouse people here as well in the comments have to say about this, because like if you are on Twitter, right, you can make a tweet that is popular and you can gain followings. Like you can gain a presence on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and all those things without being on it. But if you and I aren't on Clubhouse right now, nobody's finding us.
I thought that too, but sometimes when I go to bed, I'm off the app. I'm clear off the app. I go to bed.
Sure, you are, Vyyyper.
Hey, watch it, Liz. But I am clear off the app, and then I wake up in the morning and I have more followers, and I'm like, how is it possible? I'm not even on the app. But
yeah, like 1 or 2 followers, or like 100.
No, maybe like more, maybe like 5 or 6 new followers overnight. Okay. But I think it's because, like, if you search for people in Clubhouse, they suggested user list, and I think somehow I ended up on that list, or I'm on that list at some point.
Yes, I think there's that, because I'll get like, I don't get 5 or 6, I might get like 2 or 3, and I think it's like if you're up talking, and then it's like they might look and see who you follow, and then there's that whole thing. But it's not like you and I can host like a killer conversation on YouTube, and it's like people are going to find it for the next week. So you're almost like a slave. Like if you want to grow your following on Clubhouse, you really have to like be sitting on Clubhouse. Which I wonder how long, like, are people going to do that? Like, you're
already doing it. I'm doing it. It has literally changed my sleeping pattern practically. So yeah, it's happening. It's literally happening in real time. People are losing sleep to stay on that app, but not really to grow followers. I think there are some genuinely awesome conversations that just extend well into the night.
Right now we're talking about YouTube monetization, and we're not there. Just kidding. I want to see how many followers you have on Clubhouse now.
Oh my God. But yeah, people will stay on Clubhouse all hours of the night. So yeah, people will stay on Clubhouse to grow their following, I'm guessing. Yeah.
I guess maybe that's why they're paying people, right? Because we should do this. What time zone are you in? We'll just pick a shift.
Literally. So Summer said that founders are trying to bring monetization to the platform. They have to, because that's the only way they're going to keep like the large scale creators on there.
Yeah. So how is it gonna? So do you know, Summer, how is this monetization gonna work? That's what So then if you and I host a room and we got it like sponsored by Diet Pepsi, then do we?
Nobody knows yet. That's a good question. I kind of talked about this. I think I talked about this. I talked about this in a room the other day. But I think in Clubhouse's case, it would be a lot better for them to give creator control to handle monetization instead of the platform handling the monetization themselves. Because there might be some creators that might want to monetize their rooms, like charge people to get into the rooms, or charge people to get on stage, or whatever the hell they want to do.
You could charge people though right now to get into rooms.
Yeah, but kind of unofficially. I mean, but you can't. Here's the thing: you can't stop them from getting into the room, though.
See, what I would do, I wouldn't do it because I don't have a thing. But say people, there's some people I follow, like Summer. Say Summer's like, I'm going to do a 21-day affirmation challenge, and for $200, you get to hang out with me every morning for an hour, and blah 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 blah. I would pay her $200 privately, and then she could host that on Clubhouse.
Yeah, that's definitely happening. There are definitely backdoor deals, I'm guessing, going on.
Yeah, that's a useful way to do it. But
yeah, I don't know. The thing is, the platform has to figure out obviously they have to figure out a way to provide monetization for the creator while also making a cut for themselves too. So that's the whole thing about that. So I don't know. They'll figure it out. They're gonna have to figure it out quickly.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. They'll get it figured out. It'll be good. I really like it. It's been crazy, how fast it's been crazy for me how fast I've gotten a following on Clubhouse versus how fast I've gotten a following on Instagram or YouTube.
Oh my God. I've been on a little over a month and I have over 1,000. Actually, I have almost 2,000 followers.
1,600. I just checked.
1,600 and a little over a month. It's bananas.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's really good. And in that case, okay, so you're getting these followers, you're getting followers, you've gotten 1,600 followers, and they feel what is this crazy of me to think those people who are following you, those 1,600 people, they feel like really authentic followers, because for them to want to follow you, they really know you. They like the way you talk. They like what you have to say. They like your opinion. And the only reason why they're following you is because they want to know whenever you're speaking.
Mm-hmm. Most of them, yes.
Right?
Some of them have no bio. They look like bots, but I'm guessing that's because they're new to the app. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So is it a more valuable follower, in some ways? It's interesting.
I don't know, because sometimes when I host rooms, hardly nobody shows up depending on what the topic is. So I don't know how valuable they are if they don't show when I host rooms. So it's weird.
Yeah. No, because I've opened rooms with other people, just talking about other topics that aren't related to YouTube, and it's crickets. There's 4 people.
Actually, that is the one thing that I have not done yet. I have not opened a YouTube room, and I'm like you said, I think that's why most people follow me, because they like the tips about YouTube.
We open YouTube rooms all the time. What are you talking about?
Oh no, you open YouTube rooms and I come along for the ride.
I just type it in. You could be the same. You could be typing it in too.
Right. What I'm saying is that I have never opened a YouTube room by me doing it myself. I've done it with you yet, but I've never done it myself.
Tomorrow you have to do it.
You do that to see.
I have to make videos tomorrow. I cannot be on Clubhouse.
You've been kind of falling back anyway lately.
Because I have to make videos.
I gotta make videos too. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. Yeah, it's been busy. Well, it's been busy because this week it was so cold we didn't have school. So I had to extra mom. I couldn't send them to school with a backpack.
Yeah. The weather is kind of crazy. Yo, shout out to 504 for the 504 super chat on cue. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you as always. So thank you for that. Let's see. Summer says, I can see that happening if the room passing going over that 5K room limit. Oh, yeah. They're charging people to get into rooms. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here's an interesting question. Clubhouse is on the rise. I mean, hell, it's skyrocketing at this point. Twitter is on the rise. Other voice-only platforms are sprouting up like weed. What do you see, or how do you see the future of voice-only platforms going? Do you think these are a fad that's happening right now because of the pandemic, or do you think they have longevity to them?
We should make some bets. Like we should put money on this. Well, wait, in case we have a different opinion. I don't know, just to make it fun. I think it's a fad.
Really?
I do.
So how long do you think this fad is going to last?
I think that people will go back to YouTube and Instagram or like Twitter. Like I think they're going to go back to reading apps and then like YouTube. I don't think they'll die, but I don't think I just don't think it'll be like a podcast. Like people love podcasts, but it's not going to be like it's not going to be like Facebook, or YouTube. I don't know. That's what I think. And the reason why I think that is a couple things. I have really solid reasons why I think that. I think number one, it is really epic time consuming. So as like a creator, like as creators, right? If you and I are like making a room and we're creating a space to like engage and whatnot, we're there sometimes, Vyyyper, for like 5 hours.
Yep.
Right? Where in 5 hours we could film, edit a YouTube video, have it live, and then that YouTube is like living live for like ever, building us a following, building us monetization, like all of those things without us without us having to be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but you were talking about us, and that's a small minority. Most people don't have to create, and they have time
to make YouTube videos. Yeah. And then what I don't know is like, see, I don't sell anything. Like I try to think like, okay, if I was a life coach and then, so say I was in a Clubhouse room or I hosted a Clubhouse room and I built a name for myself in Clubhouse and I was getting a lot of direct clients afterwards, then that might make it worthwhile. I don't know. So I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. Lord knows I've been wrong about lots of stuff.
Yeah. I don't think it's a fad. I think it's here to stay. And I think it's here to stay because it's so easy to consume and use. Like you said, you don't have to get dolled up and ready to rock and roll on a voice app. And again, like you were saying earlier, you can literally use it from anywhere. So because it's so low effort to use and it's so easy to consume and interact with, and you can interact with it passively and actively, it's
become as big as like the Facebooks and the Instagrams and the Twitters. Like, will it become as big? Like, I think we'll always use it and love it, but will it become as like?
Yes, I believe it will become as big. Okay. Because think about it. Facebook, you have to be on Facebook, right? I mean, you can't really use Facebook passively. I mean, you can get notifications, but once you leave Facebook, you're done with Facebook.
Yeah, and it's not like a person hasn't lost 5 hours of their life scrolling.
True, but once you leave Facebook, you're done with Facebook. Once you leave Instagram, you are done with Instagram. Once you leave Twitter, you're done with Twitter. But you can still leave Clubhouse and still interact with it or be interacting or consuming it without really interacting with it. So
yeah, man, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting. And again,
how quick to monetize it will make a difference, I think. Because
you know they're gonna monetize it.
If you can make an income and be a creator on Clubhouse, then
I mean, there's already a Clubhouse influencer program in existence, although they don't get paid yet. But I mean, that's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. I mean, I definitely like it as an option for entertainment. And I really love that it is democratic. Like I love all the things that are the people's choice, right? Like if you like and I like all like, it blows my mind that I'm like this teeny tiny YouTuber that really doesn't have a ton of knowledge, doesn't have all the fancy gear, doesn't have a ton of stuff. But now I have relationships with like big YouTubers who like know who I am and, and I wouldn't have had that kind of exposure. So I like that it's democratic, like that the people get to choose who they want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like an algorithm kind of deciding.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because you could literally be in rooms with like Roberto Blake and Daryl Eves and things like that. And like those are interactions that you might not be privy to off of that Clubhouse platform because other platforms don't make it easy to have access to these people like Clubhouse do. And I'm guessing it's going to be similar with Twitter Spaces and the other competitors where you will have that easy access to people that you normally wouldn't have access to. But I do wonder though, how will that change once monetization becomes more of a thing? Because obviously these people don't normally give this type of assets for free. So when these platforms do figure out a way to monetize this stuff and give these bigger creators assets to monetize in the platform and their time on it, you might have to pay for the assets that we get for free now, or something to that extent. So it's gonna change probably. I don't know how, but it's gonna change.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope that they monetize it elsewise. I hope they have like this Clubhouse brought to you by Diet Coke or whatever.
Diet Coke, huh? Are you a Diet Coke fan?
No, I'm just drinking a Diet Coke. Although I was like, man, I should have bought myself like wine, and I could have sat here and had a glass of wine while I was hanging out with you.
You were trying to get drunk on stream? Lynn trying to get drunk, trying to throw a few back.
No.
Bad.
It's Friday night.
It is Friday night. You're right. Your boy got Hawaiian punch.
That's probably what is in that? Vyyyper.
Hawaiian punch.
See?
Mm-hmm. Not wine. Hawaiian punch.
Not wine.
Not wine. But you're right. It is Friday night. You know, sometimes you want to kick back, relax, sip a little wine. I got you. I feel you.
Yeah.
So, have you applied for your own Clubhouse club yet?
Yes.
Yeah. How long ago did you apply?
So long ago. Like literally the day I started Clubhouse.
Damn, you'd messed around.
No, man. No, I did it right away, but I haven't heard anything yet. But I don't know if it's interesting. I don't know if I want a club. Do you have a club? How come you don't have a club?
I never really thought about it until recently. I did apply for one about a couple weeks ago. I think maybe a week ago. So who knows when it's going to be accepted or not. But I don't know. I'm having second thoughts now because I'm part of another club and I get all these damn notifications to get on my nerves. Oh, I'm like, I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That just hasn't been nominated to join your club. I'm like, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah.
It's like, damn it. I don't want all these notifications for this. So yeah, having my own club, that's going to be twice as annoying now. Getting all those stupid notifications. Like, damn it.
Yeah. Well, and then like, what's the, it's hard to say, like, I don't know, but maybe because, I think everything's going to evolve too, right? Like we seem to have a pretty decent amount of success when we open a room. Like when you and I open rooms that are like talking about YouTube, we always have a good turnout.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Whoa. So Shannon said she applied for a club 2 weeks ago and nothing. Yeah, they're very slow about that right now.
Summer has a club, but that's because she knows people who knows people.
Oh yeah. Somebody got the hookup.
Check
this out. Christina Red is in the building. How you been, Christina? It's been in such a long time.
Christina?
I see you. Christina's in the building. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. But I think right now, last time I checked, they got like 6 million people on the app. Everybody and their mama is applying for a club, so God knows how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
And I think their team is still relatively small, so between all that, I don't know.
But I think again, you really have to you have to niche that club. Like you have to want to build yourself a personality or something around that club. I don't know, but I'm kind of new to like the whole social media as a business space thing still. So I don't really know a whole lot about it, which is maybe a good place to be. Maybe ignorance is bliss.
Social media is where it's at. Oh, Shannon said they closed down the request line, so you can't even apply for a club anymore. Wow. Okay.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, yes.
That's interesting. Oh, we got Dave Fink. What's up, Dave? How you doing, man? How you doing? Welcome to the show. We are talking about the evolution of the voice platforms tonight on social media. Obviously, Clubhouse is blowing up. Twitter Spaces is in beta, but they're doing their thing. There are rumors out there that Facebook and Instagram are both going to have Clubhouse competitors, and I don't get that because Facebook owns Instagram. So why the hell do they both have Clubhouse competitors? But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, or maybe it's like the same integrated thing.
I would imagine so, because it wouldn't make sense for them to have like separate platforms for Clubhouse clones. So I don't know.
So what was the Beast talking about in the room I couldn't get in?
What was Mr. Beast talking about? I mean, they were interviewing him as part of, I guess, their podcast. And I think they were talking about, what were they talking about? They were talking about, they were asking him about YouTube and things like that. And apparently in his house, he has pictures of Elon Musk in every room, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and his bathroom.
And yeah, every room he has pictures of Elon Musk. So they were asking him about that, about YouTube. asking him about thumbnails, things like that, and how he thinks about YouTube. So they were asking him a bunch of YouTube related questions because he's Mr. Beast. He's the biggest YouTuber out there and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
They're also asking him about building businesses and things like that because they were talking about Mr. Beast Burger, which is obviously it's like a cloud restaurant venture that they got going on. So yeah, a bunch of interesting stuff.
Wow.
See, Shannon said, nope. Other Shannon Snub was asking me about how to apply, and I refound a link, and it said this form is no longer accepting submissions. Wow. Now,
maybe I should get Snub as my club. I feel like she'd like people would like hanging out with her more.
The only reason why I actually applied for a club, I think, is because, well, not the only reason, but one reason why I want to apply for a club because I think it will be tied to monetization in some way. So I think if you do have a club, you might be more apt to be receiving a way to monetize your time on Clubhouse if you have a club per se. So,
but then don't you have to do something like have 3 rooms named after that club a week or something?
No, so to apply for a club, you have had to host in a room 3 weeks in a row.
Okay. In a row. Oh, okay, gotcha.
So once you have hosted a room for 3 weeks in a row, then you are eligible to apply for a club.
Okay. Oh, so I might have applied for my club way too early then.
Probably, maybe, yeah. Because if you did 3 weeks in a row, then yeah. But who knows?
I'm not really worried.
I mean, with your connections, you might be able to get a club early too. Who knows?
Who is that? It's because I know you.
Oh no, you got your own following on the platform. You've been doing nothing you over there. Yeah.
I don't know why.
You don't know why. Whatever. Everybody knows Liz is the boss out there, man. Out there moderating like an absolute boss. They know who you are.
Yeah. I feel bad because I have been like a ghost for the last week. I feel like I need to like next week really hammer down. But I'm opening my second YouTube channel. And so I'm really trying to like
That's what I want to ask you about. Listen, you almost got 1,000 followers yourself. You got like 959 right now. You're about to put on Clubhouse too. But that's what I want to ask you about. I heard this on the room, and I thought I meant to hear like, wait, what? So I know you said you decided to niche down, but now so you're gonna actually build a second channel now?
So I'm gonna split my channel. That's the deal. Like, so all the content I have on my channel, I'm just gonna like separate it. Because I always talk about like 2 things. Like I'm either talking about YouTube or I'm doing like meditations and affirmations and stuff like that. But like, it's annoying, right? Like if you followed me because you wanted to like, I don't know, you cared about YouTube stuff, like YouTube type things. And granted, when I do typically talk about YouTube, it's more like from a mindset-y type perspective and less of like, I don't know anything about like cameras. But yeah, so I'm going to separate it so that it just makes more sense I think it's going to make more sense to the algorithm. So I'm going to have 2 channels because I'm crazy, apparently.
Well, your boy has 2 channels and I do okay. So I think you'll be all right.
You have 2 channels?
I do have 2 channels. Yeah. This is my second channel. Yeah.
Yeah. See? Yeah. So why do you have 2 channels?
We talked about this before, but the reason why I have 2 channels is because 2 years ago, I was doing live streams on my main channel and I found out really hard that they stunted growth. So because I noticed that they were stunning growth, I made another channel just for live stream. So this channel here,
live streams do stunt your growth, I think.
Well, not so much anymore. Well, depending on how you live stream. I mean, they can if you don't do them correctly, but if you do them correctly, you can definitely integrate them today. 2 years ago, not so much.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Shelley. There we go. Shelley's in the building. Shelley, if you have some time and you're like camera ready, please let me know, and I will. We should definitely bring Shelley in here.
Yeah, Shelley, come join us.
I know Shelley's opinions about voice platforms and things like that. Yo, James, man.
You're gonna subscribe to both. Are you down for a meditation, James? Do you want to shift realities with me?
I think James is down.
I'm such a hippie.
Yo, T, you in the wrong spot, T. You know where you're supposed to be at, T. Why you running away from Vyyyper, T? Why you running away from me? You know where you're supposed to be at, T. Stop playing with me. All right. We got Shelley is in.
Shelley's in.
Shelley's in. All right, let me do what I do then.
Shelley, if your mascara makes you cry tonight, that's okay. No, I'm excited about niching down my channel. I'm really excited to just focus like to just have one to really like go free and crazy on like meditating and affirmations and like manifesting and all of that type of content without it confusing people. He's getting his son to sleep.
That's right. That's right. He knows what's up. I asked him to come on the show tonight, so he's gonna try to come on. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Got to take care of the little man first. So
I'll babysit anytime.
Got to live through, hold it down.
I will do it. Give me all the babies.
You didn't miss today, Shelley. Liz is just being over dramatic about her mascara running, thinking it's gonna show up on camera when it's not, but it's okay. She's fine. She's okay.
Hey, James, I meditated money. I meditated checks. No, I manifested checks out of thin air. No, swear to God. I'm not lying.
You meditated money. I'm done. Bro, what is happening here? All right, now we got to bring in the heavy hitter here. We got to bring in Miss Shelley. What's up, Shelley?
What's up? How's it going?
How you doing?
Good timing. I just happened to finish going live, so I happened to be at my computer, and then I was gonna come check what you were doing, and I was like, "Oh, Liz is on," and then I said hi, and then you invited me, and now we're here, and now we're all cut up.
We're all zhuzhed and sparkly, and I'm like just over here having cried off my mascara.
No, you're good. You're good.
now we have effectively moved from Clubhouse to YouTube. Now this is what we do at Clubhouse. This is great. So, Shelley, the topic of tonight, if we're talking about the rise of voice platforms and if they're here to stay or they're a fad. So, Liz believes they're a fad. So, I'm curious, Shelley, to get your thought. Do you believe voice platforms are here to stay or do you think they're a fad?
Both.
Really? Okay.
It just depends on who you are and what you like. I mean, let's not forget, like, Party Line. I mean, that's all it was, like calling into anything. I think it's not here anymore. Podcast was the rage and then it wasn't. And then Clubhouse is the rage and then it won't be. And the rise of stereo is here and then it wasn't. I mean, it's some people like it, some people don't. There's so different strokes. So, I mean, it's here for some people.
What do you think, Shelley?
Are you going to still want to be on Clubhouse in 6 months?
No.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
No. And I think the longevity is one thing that I really, really hate is not being efficient. And one thing that really pisses me off is repeating the question and answer to something I've already done. And with something like Clubhouse with its immediacy and answer, but not the longevity and it's like whatever, is the fact that like there will always inevitably be someone who's going to come in and ask the same question I've already answered. And then nothing irritates me more than having to do it again. Instead of being able to be like, go watch this video, I'm going to be like, can you go listen to the thing that's in the cloud that doesn't exist because it doesn't actually hold on to any kind of recording? Like, no. So that's just annoying for me. So I'm like, no, not at all. So I was on stereo though the other day. I had a conversation with my friend Kimberly and it's basically like a phone call, recording a phone call, but the way that they made it so easy after each of us was able to download the recording off on our phone. And I just took that exact recording. I threw it up as a podcast episode. I was like, I could get down with something like that because at least it lives on. And then I can be like, oh, I think I talked about that on an episode with my friend. Go check that out. It's on my podcast now. I hate that the whole Clubhouse thing every week, it's probably the same. I'm not saying anything about whatever. I'm saying that it seems like it's the same questions. It seems like it's sometimes then even the same people and that like longevity just isn't there.
Now, you do make a point because I am pretty sure I talked to a guy, I think it was either today or yesterday. I was in one of these YouTube rooms and he had come up to ask a question. And I'm like, dude, I just literally answered the question for you. Yeah. You go like, stop it.
Well, it might have even been someone comes into the room that wasn't in there an hour ago and then asks the same question someone did an hour ago. And even that, you can't be like rewind and go listen to it because it's not there anymore, you know? So
I don't even know what that stereo app is thing that you're talking about.
Oh, actually, I'd never heard of it until my friend actually called me up and said, hey, I want to do this like kind of voice only. And I'm like, oh, kind of like Clubhouse. And she's like, yeah, like Clubhouse, but like people can also call in and leave like voice messages. And so you can kind of interact with them as well. So she was like, oh, I'm going to have a moderator and they'll screen the messages for us, but or you can just have it go live because I've only used it twice. So the other time I was, the interesting thing about it is it has some sort of almost random algorithm to it where you log in and you just automatically get dropped into someone's conversation or show or whatever you want to call it. And so I was listening to, I don't even know what it was. It was like ghost stories, but like with a flamboyant LGBTQ twist is I guess how to say that. But like the very first person they had as a call-in was calling them derogatory names. And so like there's this weird like, oh, well, that happened. And I was just like, whoa. So I get why you'd have a moderator, but I thought it was really interesting, at least, that you could hear some snippets of people actually calling in and saying something, which is one of those things that you don't always get on some of those like podcasts or something. So it was interesting. But then after you were done, it also has like your little Bitmoji looking thing. So you create a Bitmoji, and then as you're talking, your Bitmoji mouth is moving on screen, which is interesting. But and then as soon as you hang up the conversation, it says like, do you want to download this episode, like the audio? And it was like, sure. Now I have a podcast episode. So
yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was kind of neat.
So it sounds like this stereo thing is kind of like an interactive podcast per se.
Yeah. But like I said, I've only used it once. That was the first time on it. So
yeah, see, I feel like that could almost be, because I am always just like whatever I do when I'm on Clubhouse. I'm never really answering questions because I'm not like the big guns or all that stuff. But I can see how you would get annoyed.
Yes.
Yeah, but the other part is, on Clubhouse, you can put yourself in different rooms in different situations, so you don't have to be exposed to the same questions every week. If you
Charlie's really nice and hangs out with me on Thursdays.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad that you were like everyone dipped on Thursday. Or like it was a much smaller room. I was like, where is Jessica? Where is everybody? Like they all had to go, and I get it lives and everything. But I was like, oh no.
The week before it was it was like quite a bit bigger and juicier and fun and vibing. But then the Thursday before then it was small too. So I think it's just gonna fluctuate.
I think it just ebbs and flows.
Totally.
Yeah.
Just like YouTube, ebbs and flows, man. Ebbs and flows.
Yeah. But it's still a lot of fun. I do really feel like the mom and daughter who came up and talked.
Oh, they were so cute, right?
Yeah. And I really feel like those people need help, right? And to like get to talk to you like directly one-on-one and
I'm
get
not that special. She already, I will say though, can talk to me one-on-one because I've seen her on Instagram, Facebook, somewhere. I tracked her down, and I even made sure I gave her, because she had a question for her daughter. She wanted to really get into shorts, but she was afraid that using iMovie, she wasn't gonna be able to do it. And so I was like, oh, dude, I have a hack video for that. So I made sure to like track her down and send her the link to the video. So I was already chatting with her. So being on like Clubhouse isn't anything special probably for her, I guess.
Right.
Like I'm already talking to her. So although I think I maybe met her on Clubhouse or Instagram. I don't even know, but
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's nice that we get to help. I don't know. It's nice that we get to help people.
Yes.
With Clubhouse.
Sometimes until they until you get some dicks in the room or someone who wants to like sit there and debate with you about whatever. And like I have seen some rooms, like Vyyyper or whatever, where like they're just more interested in fighting the people that are like sometimes even giving advice. And it's not like the person is like, this is the only and definitive way, but like when people in the audience, like they start coming up in arms about like, do you remember? I don't know what room it is, but the guy had like millions of subscribers and this little, I don't want to use like subscriber numbers as like any indicator, but it was like this brand new baby YouTuber that was like, that's not even correct. That's not how YouTube works. And this guy is just too like modest to be like, child, I will squish you. But like, he was like, okay, sure. I mean, that's an opinion, and I was just kind of like, anyone can just come up here and start spouting stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like the most expert in the room. But this dude actually has millions of subscribers and has been on the platform 10 years, and you're going to come school him about the way that everything works. And I'm like, maybe sometimes, but like, I don't think this time is that time to flex that muscle.
Some of these people on the app just love to hear themselves talk. They just get on stage and they just go on and on. I'm like, can you stop talking? Stop talking, God.
Yeah.
But I'm interested that you both think that it's a fad and it's gonna die out. That's interesting.
Well, until they also have some of the rules around, like, it's a self-policing platform right now. I mean, they got 8 developers creating this thing, and like, you really have to rely on each other to self-police. And club rooms are only as good as the moderators and the audience that are in at the same time. And then once the floodgates open to allow millions upon millions of users in there, and all chaos like kind of ensues when there's no order and everything just gets overrun, there's so much bullshit to wade through that people are just gonna be like, I don't need to deal with this. I'm out. Like, I'll find other places, especially when there's so many others to choose from, So it's just like, it's not worth the 50 hours that you might put in for the 1 hour that's like brilliant.
So does that mean, okay, so is that why it's somewhat, because it seems like a lot of the people who are like moderators are also like YouTubers, right? Like, you know what I mean? And is it because we're already used to like, because we've all been in rooms, like when you jump in a room, you're like, oh, that has an interesting title. I'm going to go listen to it. And they have a moderator, but that moderator, you can tell that they don't like talk to strangers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
The room, obviously, the room.
It depends on the room.
Yeah. The rooms, I mean, are usually YouTube focused. So we being creative, we're used to talking to strangers. So it's no issue for us to get there.
Yeah.
In the room. But yeah, then there are some people that have no business being moderated because they're just not, they're not cut out for it. So it is what it is.
It's all very interesting.
Like different situations for things like that.
I'm glad that Shelley was on my team with it. It's a fad.
Oh, were you? Yeah, you were. I'm
I
team
also
fad. And what in Vyyyper you are saying not fad?
It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
So we'll regroup in 12 months. And then if we were right, Shelley, Vyyyper has to like, I don't know.
Yeah, what does Vyyyper have
what
to
do we
do?
want, Shelley? That's really the question.
Well, by then we'll already be dominating the world, so I don't know.
Vyyyper has to wear I love Liz and Shelley shirts, you know, like that. Like Taylor Swift's boyfriend that time.
Yeah. Did you also, okay, so Vyyyper, I'm gonna steal the show here for a second. So one, did you listen to the Taylor's version of Taylor Swift released, right? And then two, do you know the Easter eggs that are coming about the actual official launch drop date for her new album?
You guys are Taylor Swift.
Have you been reading like all of the Twitterverse about it?
To answer your first question, yes. Second question, no.
Oh, okay. So if you look, fans have already deciphered that there are random, not random because it's Taylor Swift. Come on now. There are scattered capitalized letters inside of her announcement post that she did. And when you suss them all out and then anagram them all together, it's April 9th, which is 4 + 9, which is 13, which is her favorite number. So it's kind of like them indicating that her album is dropping on April 13th or whatever I said. April 9th.
But we're talking about her remake album, not a new album though.
Yeah, her remake album. But you know that her remake album also has 6 new tracks on it.
Yeah, that I heard. Yeah.
Shelley was a Taylor Swift fan.
Oh yeah, Shelley knows it. Now I am in the probably very, very, very small minority, but I felt like the remake to Love Story was not as good as the original one.
Well, it's never going to be as good as the original one because she didn't change it in any like transformative, huge way. It was just like, it would be like going to her concert and listening to her sing it as it was arranged before. It's not like she turned it into a ballad at, you know, like 100 beats per minute or something like that. I mean, she literally just kind of redid it with a revamped like arrangement. To me is kind of what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. She re-sung it with a different crew, and a different crew kind of messed it up a little bit, but it's all right. It's not bad.
I mean, it was fine. And it was like, it's one of those where like TikTok has already ruined that song so much anyway that there was probably nothing that anyone was going to come out and do to like, unless she drastically changed it and turned it into an R&B and turned it into some sort of jazzy folk, turned it into something else. There was nothing that was going to be that different about that song ever. You know what I mean?
No, but what I'm talking about the like nuances, like some of the vocals, like it seemed like she kind of melded in a couple of spots where she was singing. But the thing that got me the most was her production team. They kind of overproduced it because there are some aspects of the song where they kind of drown out her voice. I'm like, how the hell are you drowning out her voice? What are you doing?
Well, and it's actually a little ironic because her voice has matured, and so she's a much better singer than she was back then. But I think that back then, like the little girl childish voice was actually almost more fitting for the song because it's about this little Juliet love story, which you can't have them be a 30-year-old, you know, like at that time, like they've seen the puppet and the strings, you know, like as 15, it's kind of like, he bought me cotton candy and like we're going to the fair. Like this is like, oh my gosh, so romantic. So it's a different, like she's seen some stuff.
She's 30, dated.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's
what
are you gonna do? It can't sound the same, but it kind of did in the same way.
No. I kind of realized that we're talking about 12-year-old or 11 years later. So obviously it's not going to sound the same, but I was just kind of mad at the way they kind of overproduced it a little bit and kind of drowned our voice. But it's not a bad song. It's not a bad remake. It's not the real. I feel like the original better, but I see a lot of people on Twitter are loving the remake. So hey, more power to them.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's just updated. I mean, that's the only way I can say is like the other one felt a little bit more outdated because it's the classic and the way we remember it and hear it, and it seems like childlike and a little like whimsical. And now it's just like I'm a woman, so I'm gonna sing it like a woman sings it. So like that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate.
Yeah. I would have loved to see her do some sort of like remake, strip down, make it only like a vocal acoustic, like very slow type of that would have been cool. But
yeah, like when you said, because didn't you say like an R&B folk / folksy version?
Yeah, if she took
like
some sort of like route like that, it'd just be different.
She should have made like a 30-year-old woman's vibey. Now I'm a jaded, but I still believe in love version. Shelley, where were we?
Who hasn't Taylor dated is what's going on saying. Well, you know what? She hasn't dated me. So I don't know. There are plenty of people across the planet that she has not dated. And you know what though? She has okay, so we're gonna talk about this for a second. I don't know if you won. I haven't watched, but I kind of want to, and I've heard the gist of the Britney Spears Hulu documentary that just came out, right? It just basically helps paint her in this sympathetic light because of all of the shitty misogynistic ways that across the world not only mental health is treated, mental health in females, but like this over sexualization of a young woman, young girl, and what the media has done to her and like how horrifically awful they were to her, right? So you take all of this and then you take the fact that like some of the men that come out of this unscathed, like Justin Timberlake, who's basically ruined 2 different women's careers by one slut shaming one and 2 accidentally wardrobe malfunctioning the other, which turned into a slut shaming type of situation. He has come across unscathed from all of this, right? And he's never once apologized for what he's like played in this part for basically just spreading the rumor and lies that she's the one that cheated on him and then did this entire thing and then went on to basically name and shame all the places they've done it or whatever else, you know, about how. And like the audacity of the men interviewers to come in and actually be like, are you a virgin still? And there's like, who in the right minds today would think that that was an appropriate question to ask a performer, right? You don't ask Charlie D'Amelio or whatever with 100 million subscribers, like, are you still a virgin? Like, it's just inappropriate. It's just not okay. And so the fact that all of this stuff existed back then in this non-bubble, right? And Chris Crocker was right all along with this whole like, leave Britney alone and this conservatorship that she's been under for the past 10 years when she's a woman, a 40-year-old woman, is just ridiculous. But the fact that like Taylor Swift gets named and shamed for all of these men that she supposedly has or hasn't dated, when a lot of like she's been dating the same dude for like 4 years, you know, or like, and before then I think she was dating maybe like 3 or 4 different people, but over the course of like 4 years. So the fact that like all of these people are like, oh my gosh, she's such a hussy, but I'm like, no, she's actually probably not. It's just amplified 10 times worse because she once accidentally walked by someone and it's in the tabloid that, you know, they've been meeting behind closed doors for the past 3 years, and she was like, dude, I don't even know the person. So, you know, it's just like this unfair thing where, you know, if you ever heard the song like If I Was a Man, like it would all be fine. It's not a big deal at all. And like I'm Leonardo DiCaprio drinking, you know, champagne off of girls you know, body parts, and the fact that like if it's 16 then she's too, you know, old for me is the joke that Leonardo DiCaprio gets away with. But the fact is, well, one, that's gross and predatory and actually illegal in a lot of places, but like all of a sudden Taylor Swift dating someone who might be a year younger is like scandal, you know. It's just like she's 31 years old, like
so further
give her a rest. Give her a rest.
Our boy Justin, I think it was today, put up an apology on Instagram.
Did he really? Oh,
yeah, he did.
Good. Well, I know that the backlash has been severe and swift because of the fact that, you know, honestly, he has said nothing for years and years and years. And he went on to, I think it was like Howard Stern was talking basically about like, you know, how they had sex. He was talking about with Diane Sawyer or like all these people. It was like, first of all, it's no one's business. It's no one's business to ask the question. And then for him to like go out there and blatantly, and then to make a music video and cast someone who looks exactly like her to then fuel the fire and the rumor that the reason that they broke up was because she was unfaithful, making him like this America's sweetheart that everyone loves. And then it took someone who was America's sweetheart and actually vilified her and made her a slut. And like that is like a very hard hill to come back over, like no matter who you are, ever.
Renee, you didn't, but it's probably gonna happen now because
who's Joss Whedon?
He's like a producer guy of like shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and like a whole bunch of Angel and different shows. I don't know what he did right now. I've heard he's not always the nicest guy, but no, I'm not gonna dig into that. I don't really know anything about that situation.
Dang. I'm just over here living in my country Canadian
Now,
life.
I'm not going to say, though, that there aren't some females that deserve to be taken down a peg or two, because I'm not all like, yes, every female, because there are some, like the, the girl from The Mandalorian who's come out with some like weird stuff recently, right? With that, or like can we Amanda Ensing, who is just batshit crazy, honestly, right now, and I just can't.
Why do we not have a Shelley entertainment podcast? Or like live stream. Now I'm here for this.
I don't know. I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
I do. I just feel like you could catch me up on all of these things.
Well.
Oh yeah. Joss Whedon has been accused of misconduct by a few people on a few of his sets. So yeah, I think I forget who the lady was one, but I think both men and women have accused him of doing crazy things. So yeah.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah. Josh says Shelley spilled the tea. She could.
I know I could.
Speaking of, what are you drinking over tonight? Shelley? Over there sipping
tea. And that's the tea.
Oh, Josh is gonna love
it's
you.
It's the Tazo Awake English Breakfast Tea.
That's where we're when Charisma Carpenter.
Oh, I love her. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she came out this week saying how Joss Whedon mistreated people on the set of Buffy and Angel.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I've heard stories that maybe he's kind of a dick, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if every single one of them.
I believe it.
Yep.
It's a shame, but I believe it.
Yeah. But here's the thing: is like a lot of the time it takes decades for people to like speak out. Let's not even forget what was that gross guy's Harvey Weinstein.
Yep.
Like just disgusting behavior with some of like the most beautiful, powerful women in the entire industry, and this sleazebag who thinks he's just like God's gift to like the industry and the gatekeeper was like holding their careers hostage by making advances on them like in gross ways. And I have to say, back in the day, this was back before they broke up, and when they were together though, when Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Pitt were still a couple, she actually told him, right? And then he basically went to Weinstein, like threw him up against the wall and said, don't you ever effing touch my girlfriend or make her feel uncomfortable. Yeah. And apparently I mean, kudos to him for like standing up for his woman, doing it privately, whatever, but like actually believing and then like actually saying to a dude, this is not okay. You cannot do this. And if you do it, I will effing kill you. Because there's not everyone in the world has that. So, I mean, I was like, kudos to him for standing up for his woman.
Yeah.
Renee said Olivia Munn destroyed them. I don't know what happened there.
I would say any guy who uses that position of power, and it happens a lot, you have that old adage of like the casting couch in Hollywood or anything like that. And I'm like, any guy who uses his position of power to take his shriveled little dick and like take it against a woman in like a gross misappropriation of power like that, absolutely you deserve everything that can be thrown at you.
Oh, for sure.
And you know what I mean? Like I don't care who you are. I have like no sympathy for that at all, because that's such a gross misappropriation of power that I'm just like, no, that's gross. You can be destroyed.
Oh my God. Now you're reminding me of something that like just happened, and it was like just on the news. Oh my God. I can't. Oh no, I remember what it was. I was watching Hustlers, the movie, right? And the girls were like drugging the guys and like maxing out their credit cards.
I think this was a true story, right? I think it's based on a true story. I haven't actually seen the movie yet, but I know J-Lo is in it. And you want to hear a funny thing? J-Lo is, like 50. And what's actually like hilarious, I believe I had heard the rumor that Golden Girls, when that show was first on, they were starting to live together at the age of 50.
Wait, the women
like
of
Golden Girls? Like the show was like was based on like, these spinsters that now all live together, but like I think in the show like they got together like in their 50s.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm saying it's so funny because J-Lo is like the epitome of like, oh my God, she's beautiful, and she's the new 50, not Golden Girls, but like 50.
Right.
Oh yeah, no pressure. Like
and she just released a skincare brand.
Yeah, J-Lo getting it done. That woman just doesn't.
She's got a million businesses, so.
Yeah,
she is a hustler herself. Yes.
Oh, absolutely, she is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to turn it into a whole like we started with Taylor Swift and we just went down this rabbit hole of like the cesspool that is drama, gossip, whatever.
I'm gonna keep it here because
I think it's a whole vibe.
It's the vibe now. We're here now. We can't go back. So Oh, she's like doing camera things over there.
Oh no, this camera is like really awful. Like it loses focus like quickly. So then I have to have like a little remote that will be like, okay, let's bring it back. Let's calm down.
So it's funny that we're talking about men and their transgressions and things like that. Because there was a whole room on Clubhouse today talking about misogyny on Clubhouse, and I'm just like, whip. Yeah.
Have you guys watched Bridgerton?
What's that?
Netflix. Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the new Shonda Rhimes kind of like period piece, but it's I do think it's a little interesting. It's a little like over the top. Well, it's a lot over the top, but I just think it's so interesting that in that particular show at that time frame, a woman's entire reputation, including the families, could be ruined for like a peck on the cheek or basically something like that would be outside of like the realm of normal, but guys are going around town and doing it in pastures with people, and like that's fine. But like the girl took off her glove and actually had a peck on the cheek in the garden with a man, and like her entire family was ruined. And I was just like, okay, cool, thanks for that.
Yeah, there's definitely some untippy thing going on in that demographic, but yeah, it's unfortunate because this stuff is happening still today, like that room in Clubhouse talk about misogyny. But like they were saying, it's not just the one problem; it's a societal problem. It's a problem that men and women both have to deal with, and it's unfortunate that we're still talking about this in 2021. But here we are.
I don't think we'll ever stop talking about it.
No.
That's the sad thing.
So I had to go and get a bank draft for, I forget what I was buying, like a dozer, a loader, some crazy piece of heavy machinery. And I had to go get a bank draft from the bank. So it's our company, mine and my husband's. Both of our names are on the accounts. We both own it. Like it's all the vibe, right? They won't give me a bank draft.
Well, it's funny. It's like 70 years ago, you probably couldn't even have a bank account without a.
They're like, well, this is a construction company. So are you sure we're allowed to give you this money? And I'm like, let me get this straight. You're assuming that I'm cleaning out the bank account instead of I'm just buying a dozer because I'm female. But if my husband comes in, you're not even going to ask him for his like ID because obviously he's buying a dozer. Like, I don't get it.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, it extends from everything, not only like medical, but like the entire financial system, or I mean, financial, but like to medical, like the fact that like, in some places you can't even get your tubes tied or like, a hysterectomy or whatever else it is without like the husband's consent, where a man can walk in and get a vasectomy in any day, like with no reason. With like, I mean, it's just like the amount of things like that, our cases are just outstanding.
It's crazy. Yeah. But you know what? I have to give a ton of, I have to give so much credit to Vyyyper because last Friday or 2 Fridays ago, we were hanging out here, Shelley, with like a bunch of other women talking about this. And you know what? It's men like Vyyyper who are making a space to be like, I want to hear the problems that women have. And I want to like give women a space to like actually talk about these things, which I think is really cool.
I just get tired of, I just think it's unfortunate that we are still living in an age where women are being suppressed, whether it be in their professions or on social media and things like that. And it just really gets on my nerve when I'm hearing about this stuff on Clubhouse about how women are not being called up on stage for whatever reason, because they're in these rooms with these men that want to flex their ego, or they want to like belittle or talk down to the women or over talk them. So I'm just like, oh, no, we're not doing this. So it's funny that you mentioned that, Liz, because I remember, I think it was 2 nights ago, Marquez Brownlee finally hosted a room on Clubhouse.
Okay.
And I was up there with him, and I'm like, Marquez, can we bring some women up here? So we brought some women up there to talk about tech too. So that was a pretty cool moment to bring up there.
I saw him in one of the Clubhouse rooms. I think it was actually the female YouTuber.
Yep, he was there.
And I saw his profile come up. And I was so excited because it wasn't just one where he like popped in and then he popped out like super quick. Cause you see people like, but like I saw that he was there, and actually Renee Ritchie was in a room, and Vyyyper, you were in a room, and I saw you guys and you were in there for a while. And that like, just that even show of support, just staying in there and literally being visible in the room almost lends legitimacy to it. And I remember I didn't want to call him out publicly or anything. Like, oh my God, look who's in the room. Thank you so much. Or like do that thing, which I had an entire episode about like how you don't call people publicly out or ask them to come on stage. You would like message them privately or like send an invite and not say anything vocally. But I just remember being very like appreciative that he was there. So I thought it would.
Yeah, it's funny because when I saw him there, because I was the YouTube Ladies Night and I was there. I'm always the first winner because I love to show my support. And I was looking through that. I was like, whoa, Marquez in here too. So I hit him in the DMs. I'm like, I appreciate you hanging out with the ladies tonight, man. Cause I try to be there to show my support. And I think me and him share the same sentiment. So when he hosted the first Clubhouse room and he had like some 200, 300, 400 people in the room, I'm like, all right, Marquez, we're here. Remember the conversation that we had? Can we bring some ladies up? So we ended up bringing some ladies up to talk tech, and it was cool. Like he understood what was going on.
That's really awesome.
Good job, Vyyyper.
I just want you to know, like, we see you, we appreciate you, and you know, and the thing is, like, that whole vibe, attract your tribe. Like, you don't have a bunch of dickheads always in your audience, and so like you associate and surround yourself with people that aren't necessarily dickheads, and so which is nice. So like you see like Renee or Vyyyper or Tech for Your Needs or You Do It, or you know, all of these people that you see continually and like walking the walk, talking the talk, all that stuff, and being supportive even if they're not like vocally saying something. But then I've been in situations where so just to speak, there was a panel that I was on that was being simulcast across 2 different channels. One of them has been very friendly to females, features them on their channel, has them do streams, has them do education, talks very highly of them, whatever. The other has probably never had a female on their channel unless it was some sort of interview or something that they needed to get out of them in a collab. And like the tone of the 2 chat rooms while this was going on simultaneously was just night and day. And so when you have an environment on your channel that cultivates that kind of environment, you can tell like right away that like this one was warm, welcoming, people were wanting to listen, didn't matter if it was men or women. This one was like, why the F are they on here? Oh yeah, they look really good, talking about their body parts. And it was night and day. I cannot even tell you how night and day it was.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like Vyyyper, like you're a good one and you surround yourself with other good people, and I'm saying it's noticed.
Oh, I do. I remember one day there was hey, Renee, I'm not even about to put that on screen, but that's initially comment. but I remember one day, and there was an issue with a female YouTuber who started a podcast, and the name of her podcast was something that was already existed out there.
Oh yeah, I saw that go down.
And a bunch of dudes just straight up started attacking her, and I'm like, oh no, we're not.
Or like something that's a mistake. And first of all, like that guy, is like one of the nicest people on the planet, right? And like very self-proclaimed, proud, like girl dad, very much so. Like, and in fact, I'm so much a fan of him and just a nice person that he is. He and I are now doing a show every Tuesday called Would You Buy That, where we basically just get to hang out with each other and chat because I like him, you know, and he's a good person.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put him on blast, but when I had pointed that out about what they were doing to that girl on Twitter, I got dude blocking me. I'm like, okay, fine, block me, bye. I'm like, okay, like, don't do that. Why the hell are you attacking a teenage girl? What is wrong with you? Grown ass men out here attacking a teenage girl over
because she's because a lot of the time too, like a lot of them aren't going to fight back, and so it's just really easy to punch down. And good for her. I mean, for also kind of sometimes, but she shouldn't have to, because something like that wasn't really her fault. I mean, can people go out and do a quick search to see if that channel name or something is taken? Would it be a best practice? Yes. Would she probably do it again in the future? Yes. But like the amount of reticence and like the torrential downpour of hatred that she got for it, for like something that was kind of just a mistake that could be worked out behind the scenes between the parties that were actually involved, instead of everyone else getting their panties in a twist about like clutching their rosary beads about how this was not affecting them in any way, but they were angry about it and needed to tell the world and then find a target and then like try and like knock her down for it. Like, get a grip, guys. Get a grip.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about that.
Like Renee said, Gadget Cast and Genius are both in you before, but nobody piled on them but Jacqueline. Yeah, I would not have none of that. So I don't care if they block me. Good. Please block me. But don't do that to no teenage girl. What the hell wrong with you all? Shout out to Check the Tech for the super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah. I am a firm believer that you are what you attract what you are. So I try to put out positive vibes every chance I can, because life is too short for anything else. So I put out positive vibes, and usually I receive them in return, and I just rock out. And that's what we do, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing how sometimes you take a little lint-sized nothing, and some people can just turn it into a huge cluster of like a snowstorm. So
yeah. People were just they just look for any
irrationally angry on something that doesn't affect them at all. Like, unless their show is also called the same thing. You know what I mean? Like the actual person whose show was named the same thing was not spewing any of this. So I'm like, why are you guys coming in so hard at this?
Yeah, but that's like, I mean, because weren't we on like a ladies' night, or we were in a room together. I'm sure you were there, Shelley. And some girl came up and was like, "How do you guys handle drama when people are using your name in like a tag for a YouTube video?" And it's kind of the same, like, why aren't you just focusing on like making your content and like moving your life forward? Like, why are
Get my
we
name out your tags?
Yeah, like do the work. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, honestly, like, one day if my channel gets big and somebody ever uses my name, I'd be like,
one day when your channel gets big,
right? All this
it's about the correct language.
Yeah.
When it happens, if somebody was using my name, I'd be like, thanks for giving me extra advertising. Like, how is that? That's not going to hurt.
Well, it also depends. I have a friend of mine who, I don't know how far into that weeds you want to go, but basically they were making a certain type of content. They decided they didn't want to make that type of content. They exited said type of content field and then got this entire community all aghast at not only like everything from her business practices to her home life to her whatever. And I think in the last probably 2 weeks, she's gone from no one, let's say, talking about her to like 50 or more videos all attacking her and talking about she's a bad mom, she's a bad business person. And so she's like,
niches?
What's that?
Because she switched niches? Man, say that.
And a couple of, but I'm just saying, so like, you never know exactly what you're going to do when you're in that type of situation, because now every single one of them is using her name to get views. And if you look at a lot of the other videos on their channel, and then you look at the ones that mention her name, they're exponentially the ones that are getting more attention. So then they just keep pumping out more videos about her.
Just be like super naive. Like I clearly am super naive because I just don't even see I don't think these ways and see these things. It's crazy.
Oh, you are nice.
Well, you're Canadian.
I never would have. I guess that's true. Canadian. See, I would have never like gone that way. I would have been like, oh, they're just using your name because like, I don't know, they're trying to like get views like in a good way, right? Like if I was like talking about really amazing women who make vertical videos and I was like, watch, Shelley saves the day, then I would put that as a tag, but it'd be in like I don't know. I mean, I guess I wouldn't probably use a person's name just because I feel like that's like not the most respectful thing to do, but
some people are not respectful. Yo, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Oh, Tech for Your Needs. How you do? I was just saying. I see you. Sometimes I'll see like randomly on my channel, like on my beauty channel, on my music channel, Tech for Your Needs, and I'll be like, "Look at you! Yeah, thank you."
Renee, we've been down the post so many times. We already know it's ridiculous.
What I feel for her and I love her so much. She has no idea who I am, but like the fact that
maybe she does
so smart. She's so brilliant. She's so nice and so kind. And I just don't understand the amount of like vitriol that comes her way because she professed that she liked the pink iPhone versus a purple one or whatever it is, or some tech spec or whatever. Like her videos are beautifully shot. Up until not that long ago, she was editing all of her own things. She's a great editor. She's a great teacher. Like, and I don't understand this entire incessant need for people to be like, go back to your iPhone, whatever, and just like shut up. And I'm like, excuse me, like she's one of the most long-standing people on this platform. She's brilliant and she's very nice and hasn't allowed the world to be just like, completely taint her from that, because some people get a little bit of fame and they just turn into like complete assholes. Yeah. And I feel like even though she has the fame and money and whatever, she's still a good person. Like I don't know her, but I can feel it from her that she's a good person. And there's not a lot of that you always see on YouTube. And I get like personally offended / angry about all of these people who come and attack her for stuff that they would never, one, attack a man for, and two, it's just like, I'm sorry, are you mad that she's successful? Are you mad that she's beautiful? Are you mad that she is a really good editor? Are you mad that she's good with tech? Which part are you most upset about? Because maybe you need to go talk to someone about that, because that's a problem with you, not a problem with her. Stop making it a problem about her. You know, and it's just, there's so much of that comes up that is just like, you're not going up to Vyyyper and saying that he doesn't look very good today, but you're more than happy to come to an iJustine video and say that her makeup looks like shit. And I'm just like, you're a horrible person. Like, Not even question mark there. Just full stop, end of sentence. You are a shitty person. And you then run around to Peter McKinnon's video and talk about how he's the greatest thing ever. And then she does the same video on the DJI Osmo Pocket, maybe says one thing the same or different. And you're like, oh my God, you're just copying Peter. And I'm like, or they could be friends and buddies, and they're both at like Sony Alpha Camp together talking about the same cameras, maybe had a discussion about different things and specs and both said it in the same video. Imagine that. You know, it's just like, it's not fair. It's not fair what she gets. And people need to not leave her alone, but actually like appreciate like how far she's come being a woman. It's like in spite of, not, you know, like not because of, in spite of.
In spite of. Yeah, that's the key. It's the in spite of. That's the key. Yeah.
Yeah, she is definitely nice and genuine. She is a sweetheart. And yeah, she's all to think that Shelley said and did some. That Peter barely doesn't care these days.
Peter can't even tell time. A 2-minute Tuesday is a 20-minute video to him, you know? So nothing against Peter. I love Peter too. So he's very kind to me with the one time that I met him in person. Very, very kind. So
I'm not just meeting him. I'm buying them. I'm gonna be able to get him a beer, you guys, because he comes to my neck of the woods. It's his favorite place. You know, where he filmed the bucket shot. Mm-hmm. That's like literally where I live.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for him to be hanging out in Canmore or Banff and being like, I'm so ready to get my fangirl on. Please tell him. Warn him.
Warn him.
Liz is going to freak out. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Now we need to mention Vyyyper needs to moisturize. Well, now you mention it. Vyyyper needs to moisturize. Colin's coming for you, Vyyyper.
Whatever.
Oh, I get it. Vyyyper, your makeup tonight. I don't know.
I know, right? Got to put more on.
I don't know if that shade of matte black.
You got to fit our team. Yeah. What are we doing here?
Should have went with shiny black.
But you know what? In spite of all the crap that female get, and I'm not just female for male, but in spite of all the crap that female get, that's what I'm going to focus on tonight. We have people like Liz and Shelley and Justine and Snub and a bunch of other amazing female creators and smart females and tech and things like that who are still out here killing it and getting it done despite of the hate that they get from society. So shout out to all of you ladies for crushing it and killing it despite all the negativity that comes your way because you just look past it. I mean, you don't not look past it. You do your thing in spite of the negativity. You don't let it bring you down. And that's why.
No, it brings us down. We cry.
Well, you don't let it stop you. Let me put it that way.
I think I've been in like 100% male dominated work only for like since I started working that I just don't even like I have a hard frame of reference in some ways. Because I was the only girl who lived in the woods working for Parks Canada when I lived in the woods in Parks Canada, the only girl, and all these like woodsmen, and then to construction. Like, I'm just like, I feel like I've only ever been surrounded by men, which also gives me a really trashy mouth. And I offend women easily, I find.
Well, you know, what's funny is I actually don't get along with a lot of women. I've almost always been in a male dominated field, and I always am like the token female, whether you want to play like the race card or like, you know, the female card, which gets played a lot. I worked several years in retail management where like a lot of the time, every time you had an HR incident, you had to have a female present. And guess what? There was only one female like manager on staff. And guess who got to be in every single HR type of incident? And that was like my full-time job. Like I didn't have other jobs to do. And like, imagine the embarrassment of having to actually sit down. If there was also something to do with another female, it had to be presented by a female. So guess who got to do that? So guess who got to have the talk with another female about how wearing certain pants at work gave them a camel toe and it was distracting for men and they didn't want it anymore. That was me.
Shelley's just like, I don't need any of this drama.
Did this person work under me? No. Did I have to be the one to give the conversation? Yes. Did I have to be present for every single firing? Because if it was a person of the opposite sex? Yes. So I have a more jaded, I'm almost angry at men for a lot of, and angry at women for not being there with me a lot of the time and like making me feel like I've been there by myself a lot of these years. Or like when I went to, you know, a big tech company afterwards and like being the only female on the entire floor, or knowing that when you go to the bathroom during the day, it's the first female of the day to be in there, and they have motion activated lights. So you're basically in the dark, literally, until you finally go to the bathroom. So, I mean, it's just stuff like that for years and years and years, where it's like in every single boardroom where people would be like, oh, well, I bet you probably have nice handwriting, so maybe you can take notes for you. And I'm like, F you, I'm actually running this meeting, so why don't you take the notes? But yeah, so I actually, I don't know if it makes me more predisposed to be like angry at women, to be like, where the F have you been? And why have you left me alone all these years?
Really?
And like the way that I communicate more has actually always been a little bit more straightforward and direct. And I think that I get along better with males. And not for nothing, but I think it's just because I lack the ability to sometimes have the real. I think Vyyyper is probably way more empathetic than I am. I lack that. Like, so one time when my boss was having like this female breakdown about a boyfriend situation, whatever else it was, I walked into the back room, saw her crying, and most females would be like, "Oh my God, come here, let me hug you." And I was like, "I can't. I'll come back in 15 minutes. Like, do you think you'll be done with this by then?" Was kind of like my reaction, and so it's always been kind of. I get a lot of flack for the fact that I'm not like a very sympathetic, empathetic, kind, nice. And so I take that whole resting bitch face to like, well, no, it's just extended to my personality, apparently. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think I've just always had an easier time getting along with guys than I do girls, because then not only then when I try and get along with girls, or if I talk to them however I want to, then I'm not sympathetic, or I'm not kind, or I hurt their feelings way too often. And I'm just like, holy shit, what am I supposed to say? Like, how am I supposed to say this all the time? And so it's just like,
I hurt feelings all the time. And I'm like, and then I remind myself that I'm not like in a construction shack, and we like, because men tease each other.
Yeah. Well, so all these times men are always like, how are we supposed to talk to women? I'm like, F if I know, you tell me, so I can have like a friend or two or something, because I don't know how to do it either. So and I cannot sit here and give you advice, because apparently I'm not nice either. So there's that.
What? Liz, you don't know how to talk to women, or what? You're not allowed to women? Did I hear this right?
What? I know. I know what? Women just offended by me. Okay, so if there's like a line in the sand, I am like, oh, look at that pretty line. Let's like launch all the way. Like, let's make all the inappropriate comments. Didn't we have a whole conversation about how I was excited to get a job to work at the army base, because I was hoping all the like army guys would be like shirtless? Like, apparently we're just not supposed to say things like that out loud. And I do. I'm like,
but
I'm gonna be the like dirty construction worker. Like, this can go both ways. I don't know.
This is some learning ish.
So I sometimes get it. Sometimes I offend. Well, I'm lucky that I have really good girlfriends that are like, they know that Liz is kind of crazy. I'm really not your typical girl.
Yeah, myself either. And that's why I always find it so comical that like I'm supposed to speak not only for women kind, but for like minority kind. And I'm like, a double whammy twofer. I'm going to fail you on both counts. I'm just like, right now.
Like, I'm not a normal girl, right? I'm going to like, I mean, I can't really run heavy equipment. I mean, I could if you needed something really badly done, and it would take a long time, but I could. But I'm still going to do it with like high heels and makeup and like fake nails and eyelashes. And people can't get that either. They're like, hold on, wait. So you lived in the woods by yourself and had bears in your kitchen and still wore high heels and did your makeup? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, but if you're a mountain girl, you're supposed to be like rugged and like not shave your legs. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to carry my Louis Vuitton bag into the excavator, and I'm okay with it. Like, I don't care.
Love for you for having one. I couldn't. So you know how like, not to be too like stereotypical, but like there's a lot of those like what's in my bag, what's in my handbag type videos. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, I don't even have a bag. And then I was just like, I was thinking about this the other day. I have like a zip wallet that I carry around with me, only because like I literally like it can fit my phone, it can fit whatever. And then I was looking at this the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, I should get a purse, you know. And then I was just like, it's been sitting in my closet for like a year, so it's like I have a purse, but I'm just like, no. But so the what's in my bag video would be like, and we're done here.
I know, mine would be boring. I'd be like, I have a
first
phone.
Give me a bag, and then I will put my wallet in it.
And then they'd be like, make sure you hide your credit cards. And I'd be like, fuck, I lost those weeks ago. Fine. Yeah.
Anyways,
Wow.
sorry. What do you want to talk about, Vyyyper? We came on here. We started talking about women's issues, Taylor Swift, all that kind of stuff.
I pretty much hit my topic already. I'm just taking it all in. I'm like it's funny because I knew so many things about Shelley, but I had no idea live with like this whole other person. I'm like, what is happening here?
You knew I did construction. Well, I don't do construction.
I knew that.
On site.
I knew that. That I knew. I didn't know that you had this whole other side of your personality. I'm like, oh, she's a big company personality girl, and now they're like fucking all this stuff. I'm like, wow. And you're like,
what?
You're like just like a whole other person. Like, wow. I'm like, interesting.
If you guys haven't yet, you should thumbs up this video for Vyyyper.
I can't because I'm on the thing.
Because like I'm usually not very good at like doing all the YouTubery things. Like I make fun of myself all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do all the things I'm supposed to tell you to do. Like this video and subscribe or I literally have an overlay that comes up and does the animations for me so that I'm like, oh god, at least if I push that effing button at least once during this stream, I can be like, oh yeah, like, subscribe, follow me on these places because I forget to say
I was like the most random like spot for that. She's like, hey, push the thumbs up button.
I felt bad because you were coming for me. That's why.
I wasn't coming for you.
I was coming for Liz.
Yeah, I'm not coming for you. I'm just intrigued. I'm good. I don't.
Yeah, I lived in the mountains for a long time in the middle of nowhere. So good.
Oh my god. So, what are you ladies doing this weekend? What are your any plans?
No.
It was minus 50. 50.
Oh,
50.
Cold in Canada. Oh yeah, cold up there, man.
I said there might be a little extra flurry of snow. I think I was all excited because someone was like, "Oh yeah, there's gonna be like 15 inches of snow," and I was like, "Ooh, exciting!" And then like it turned into like a light dusting, like a hint of a whisper of like whiteness, like scattered on the ground that like when the wind blew like was gone. And I was like, "Well, yeah, that stuck around." But then tonight supposedly there's supposed to be from 10 p.m. Oh my gosh, I just said that's supposedly supposed to. I hate myself so hard for that. Okay, 10 p.m. to like 4 p.m. tomorrow, there's supposed to be another dusting of snow, and they were like, "Oh yeah, 4 inches," and I was like, I was really excited, but I'm not going to put too much stock in it, but I'm really really hopeful and excited for it.
I'm excited for you.
I went grocery shopping tonight. We're supposed to get some snow here tomorrow, so I want to be prepared. I don't want to leave the house, so I got off my groceries tonight. So
me and Renee are Canadian laughing at your guys' snow. Renee, are you Canadian laughing at them when they talk about snow with me?
Oh, you
Canadian laughing is more like, that's interesting.
Oh no, you can't Canadian.
We're sorry. Basically, we're like, oh, we're sorry our snow made it down there to you. It is an inconvenience.
Yeah.
There's no laughing at people in Chicago. I mean, we had so much snow 10 years ago that we literally had cars stuck on the E-way. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get more than enough snow. Renee,
although it's really funny because even that light dusting of snow is enough to like snowpocalypse has happened in Seattle, everything.
And Renee gets lots of snow. Like I don't go to Montreal in the wintertime. No. Nothing makes me go to Quebec in the winter. Oh no.
Oh man.
No. Because I live in Calgary, like near Calgary. So we get Chinooks, which is this crazy, like warm air comes over the mountains from the ocean.
Santa in is
yeah,
California.
It'll get to like plus 10 degrees. It'll go from minus 50 and then 2 days later be plus 10. So all of our snow melts. So I went to Quebec in the wintertime and their snow just piles up, you guys, because it doesn't melt. And that'll freak you out. If you're
anybody just read lip, I'm pretty sure she didn't have no.
I don't do it, man. I don't do Montreal. No, I do not do Quebec in winter. Hell no.
This is good. This is quality content right here, y'all.
We left.
How about you though? Are you any plans though? I mean, now you got your bunker down, you got your groceries going, but like any cool videos that you're working on this weekend that you're putting out or like stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I need to get a video either tonight or tomorrow. I need to do a video for Saturday. So I'll have a video out Saturday. And then,
every weekend I always say I'm gonna like do the batch filming like I should, and every weekend it's like Saturday night at 9 p.m. I'm like, oh shoot, guess I need a video for tomorrow morning. Like I'm the worst. And like I even sit here and preach like, yeah, just batch shoot. And I'm like, girl, you can't even get your life together. Like I'm such a failure half the time. Like it's
better about my life.
Oh no, my life is a mess. So every time I always tell people, I'm like, you think you want what like anyone on YouTube has or something like that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like our lives are a mess behind the scenes. Like you see 10 minutes a week. Are you kidding me? There's a lot of other time.
You made me feel so much better. I was like, because everybody's always like, you just got to do it. You have to commit. You have to like make it happen and make it a priority. Make time.
All of that is still true. There's still a video on Sunday that comes out, but like I'm still up until 2 a.m. because I am punishing myself because I'm stupid because I don't pre-plan earlier in the week. So like all the above can still be true simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't put the video
I'm
on
the same
Sunday.
way, Shelley. I should batch record, but I always just do one video at a time. I never batch record, and it's just yeah.
Batch recording is hard.
I always have these great intentions because like so I have a beauty channel or I've got like a music channel, so I was like, oh yeah, so every once in a while, like when I'm just super stressed out, at least sometimes putting on makeup, I know sounds like trite, but it can be like an additional 20 minutes where I just can focus on me, play like a trashy YouTube video or if whatever, talking about internet drama, and just kind of like focus on like having some fun, right? So it's kind of one of those like escape things. What I should do is probably film myself putting on the makeup and doing like a get ready with me type of video. And then actually once I'm done up, shoot the 2 videos that I want to do. And then like maybe do a musical live stream. And then I have 4 pieces of content, but I'm stupid and I don't. And I just sit in front of my mirror and I do my makeup. And then I come on and I'm like, oh yeah, I was going to shoot a video. And then I forgot and I didn't. And then it all happens again the next day until we're at Sunday night. And then I'm like, God dang it, I am stupid yet again. So there you go. Feel better about yourself.
I feel so much better about myself. You actually, yeah, you like, I feel really good. Thank you for telling me.
Your life in comparison is such a mess. I now feel better about mine. It's what you just said.
Like, I'm equally a mess. I was like, y'all make me feel like you've got it all pulled together all the time. And I'm just like,
smoke and mirrors, people. Smoke and mirrors. And that's why, like, I do sympathize with people when they're like, you know, like it's so hard. I'm like, dude, I get it. But I was having this conversation with Dan from Creator Fundamentals, and it's like we're both married or we both have full-time jobs and we both, like life and like whatever excuse that you want to make, even if I'm sucky at batch recording or not, there's still a video that comes out on Sunday, 7 a.m. So it's like if I can do it, like as awful as I am, we really like for the single dude that's 19 years old that's got tons of time on his hands. Like I really can't wrap my head around why you can't turn on a camera and live stream for 5 minutes or do something, and get your clips throughout the week and then compile them or something. It's just like, I'd have no like sympathy for that. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't care if your video is ugly, just get a video out. And so I just, that's when I'm always like in earnest telling people like, just get the video out. Like, enough, just publish something. Just like, it's never going to be perfect. Just move on to something else and then keep going. But
okay, I'm going to take all of those words because I can go down like, I can like, and my editing isn't even good. Like my video
doesn't have to be.
like I will overly like, I'll like keep trying to edit and I'm like, you know what? And then I won't put out the video because I won't feel like it's edited enough.
No, absolutely not. I have seen your videos. You are a damn good editor. What are you talking about?
No, I don't have snazzy B-roll. I'm not like,
who cares about B-roll?
I don't think I've used B-roll.
Nobody cares about B-roll. Your edits are amazing. What are you talking about?
That's snazzy B-roll. Give me a high five.
Oh my God. I was actually, so it's funny. I was, so that guy with the podcast earlier we were talking about, I almost thought about contacting him and being like, hey, I'm thinking about making this video about this microphone and you've already made this video about this microphone.
Can I have
your B-roll for the microphone? And that was just me being like, I wonder if he'd give it to me. He might, because he's nice, but I was just thinking about that. I'm like, can I outsource my B-roll? Because I suck at B-roll. I'm just, it's barely enough for me to like, I've now used my live streaming equipment and I use my same thing that I would use to live stream, but I just record locally now. So all my buttons for my overlays and everything, I do it all now and just record it. And so I have less editing later. Like I'm that not lazy. We'll just say efficient. I can't. I suck.
Well, now I was just like, I had this epiphany at 3 o'clock in the morning because that's where all good ideas live. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make it brand. I'm going to be like shitty B-roll. I'm going to be like known for it. I'm going to be like, here's your stupid B-roll. Because like, I'm never going to be Peter McKinnon. Like
I would love to see you do B-roll for a product that the video is not about. And be like, oops, just across the screen.
Be like, I'm going to put bad iMovie, like bad iMovie titles that are like,
It's the purple glitter one that comes across the screen. Everyone knows that iMovie one. It's like, it's comical, but it's like everyone uses it because it's like one of the best ones that's at least in their title library. But like you always knew that it was done in iMovie when you saw the comments coming across the screen.
with the wait, what's it called?
It's
bell-like sound.
It's a sparkle. Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do?
I'm
just gonna take my flame.
Star wipes.
Star wipes.
B-roll.
Maybe I could use the sparkle across as my B-roll because I don't do B-roll. I can barely do A-roll. I'm
getting foolish all of a sudden.
Yeah. I can't do A-roll. I am an a-hole. There you go.
I feel really good. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna commit to doing really bad B-roll and have it be like part of my brand.
I watch your videos, Liz. I know how modest you're being. Your videos are a lot better than you give yourself credit for.
So what happens when you watch too much Peter McKinnon? You're just like, I suck.
Oh, that's your purpose thing.
But it also took 10 years for Peter McKinnon to get to Peter McKinnon. And that's what, he did that talk at Vid Summit 2018. And he was talking about like, you guys see step 10 and you didn't see steps 9 through 2, when I first got on the scene and the years of whatever luck it took me to be an overnight success, which was, 10 years in the making. So that story always made me feel a little bit better because it's true. Like, and now, like, that's why we always tell people, like, you're watching people's videos now. You're watching Renee Ritchie with 200,000 people now. And well, he's not a good example because his first videos were probably very good. But I'm saying go back and watch someone else's that was like their first, and like go back and watch mine because like it's the bluest thing you've ever heard. The sound is awful. And I thought I was the shit back then. I was just like, dude, I've watched so much like video influencers that like I know. And it's like, that's what I was telling the girl in Clubhouse the other day. I was like, it doesn't matter how much you plan and prep for the perfect first video coming out, because like a year from now, when you look back at it, you're like, dude, that video sucks.
That's already how I feel about my first video.
But the thing is, like, you just have to keep going and just, eventually hope. And like things like lighting, audio, whatever, it's like things that you'll be playing with until the day you die and stop making videos after that, because it's always like, ooh, do I want this lens and do I want this bokeh? And so much of that is really subjective. And that's why I get like kind of salty when people are like, oh, what are your camera settings? And I'm like, oh, are you sitting in the room with the same lights in the same position? No, then it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's just like, what looks good to you? Do you like it looking really blue? Which I thought was the only way to shoot videos. Do you like it looking really warm and oversaturated like the Lord DIY Alicia Marie videos in 2006?
That thing?
Oh God, it was just, I didn't understand color balancing, auto white balance, all of that, so I'm just, even now, if you look at my videos from 6 months ago, because this is a different camera than I was using before, because this one has clean HDMI out and the other one even now, tinkering with this one, the lighting, the like everything, the composition is different than the camera I was using 6 months ago. And so I look at those and I'm like, oh, do I like that one better? Or do I like this background better? And it's like, that's the thing is like, if I just sat there and like tinkered with that for 5 years, then where would you be just 5 years later without any videos, as opposed to 5 years with crappy videos progressively getting better? And that's the whole point, is if you have progressively getting better videos over however length of time, you're going to be much better off.
And we all have that channel that we love, that because we love what the person talks about, or we love their content or whatever, and their videos are trash. Like, I mean, I watch people, like whatever. There's people who have big channels and they're not, doing all the things.
Oh, so yeah, I know people with like 1 million subscribers that are still using iMovie, like never do B-roll. Like, it's not a prerequisite to like success. And just because you have a cinematically beautiful
B-roll,
it also doesn't mean that your video is going to be a success.
See, do you think people will get it? Do you think people will get it if I do like ironic B-roll?
I think you'd have to label it as ironic
B-roll.
And I think then they would get the joke.
And then if I do the sparkle and it's always like ironic B-roll.
Okay. And you change it to ironic and to iconic B-roll.
I'm gonna put down in the comments, thank you, Shelley.
Do not associate my name with that. This was because of the end of like,
Shelley said I could.
Speaking of Shelley, you just did a live stream about collaboration. So
I did, yeah.
I am curious to get your thoughts on how do you think is the best way, or what do you think are some of the best practices, Shelley, when it comes to creator trying to secure collaboration with other creators?
I just did an hour of this yesterday, dude.
Well, Cliff Notes for.
I was like, you could go watch that video. Okay, so I'm saying Cliff Notes version is do not spam someone's comment section with a let's collab, because that's like the equivalent of a you up or whatever.
Yeah,
Like it's the grossness, and it'll probably go into spam anyway if they even read it. Then I would say I prefer emails that are a little bit more professionally sent. So I usually like to not do it in DMs, but I usually like to do it inside of like an email, right? So then I said some of the rules are going to be if you actually know, like, and trust the people that you're following, you should know about events that are happening. So it's no surprise that Daryl Leaves right now is making these rounds on podcasts, on channels, on whatever, because he has a book coming out in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, those questions are very much like, hey, what's new in your world? Or, hey, I heard you're working on a book, or, hey, you know, whatever. And it's like, oh, it's a really great way for him to like punch that exposure into that audience's face so that he can hopefully push a few more books, right? And I said, I was saying that people will collab with people that they know, and if you're already truly friends, if you're truly friends, sometimes it's more about the it's about the experience than it is about the benefit from it. So I was saying, as an example, Andrew Edwards came to my channel and we did an Australian candy mukbang, which is absolutely outside of both of our wheelhouses, did nothing for our channel. In fact, I lost subscribers from it. It was just fun to do that with a friend, right? But if I was friends with someone and they had 2 million subscribers, I was saying, I have a motorcycle repair channel and they have a beauty channel. It may not make the most sense for them to shout me out because it's not an audience that necessarily is going to overlap hugely. And even if they sent some people over my way and they ended up subscribing, it's just going to tank different things like CTR, different things that like don't matter because they don't watch. Right. So it's just like, also, I was saying that when you compose some sort of email or reason why you would want to subscribe, it's really good to have some sort of personalized, like Amy Schmittauer, Landino, or something. It's like, I purchased Vlog Like a Boss. It helped me get onto YouTube and I feel more comfortable with video. I know that you have a new line of planners that are coming out, and I actually have a channel that is devoted to morning routines and plannings and good pages or whatever it is. It would be really cool to have you on my show to do a collab so that we could talk about your new upcoming journals that are coming out, and I can expose you to this audience of 20,000. That's a collab that's easier to say yes to. And so I was saying, like, the more ways that you can actually make it less work for them. And so you say more reasons to say yes and eliminate reasons why they would say no. So if you know, you sent me a request, Vyyyper, and said, hey, can you give me a Shannon Morris did this, can you send me a 30-second clip on what you think the trends in YouTube might be in this next year? Just upload it to this Dropbox and you give it to me in 2 weeks. I will include you in the video. I will edit the video. I will tag you in the comments or in the description box. That's a really easy collab to say yes to. Do I have 30 seconds? Can I make that video? Can I get it to a Dropbox? Sure. Yeah. Is this my friend? Is this, you know, an audience that I align with? Sure. So that's like an easy way to say yes. So if you had something else and you're like, hey, I know you have a blog, a technical blog, I would be willing to write 3 posts for you as a ghostwriter, and you can put your name on them, and I will give you content for your blog, and you can put your own name on it if you want. If you would do a 30-second spot on my thing and you talk about this one question and you just send it to this, that's a lot easier to say yes to, plus they get more benefits. So the deal with a really good collab is going to be when the other person gets more benefit than you usually will get. And the problem with most collab requests is coming from a very selfish, let me have your audience, your exposure, your influence. And that's not the way to get someone to say yes. And so another thing is if you can give people like an experience, something that they haven't had. This was talked about VidCon 2018, where the guy has a channel. It's called What's Inside. And there was a different guy, very, very big channel at the time. And they were talking about how he had gotten the equipment from a track and field thing for like a pole vaulting, like the big mats. They were going to be changing them out at the end of the season. He said, you can have them. And then we're bringing a new one. So he contacted this guy from What's Inside and said, hey, if you come to a collab, I have this pole vaulting mat and I'll let you cut it open and see what's inside. Because that's the entire premise of his channel. So that's something that was like an experience for that guy that was like, dude, this is cool. This is something that's in my wheelhouse and this is something I want to do. So that becomes a collab that's more interesting for them to do than one where it's just a random cold, like, hey, do you want to collab? And I was saying, if you actually have the audacity to just send someone a what's up or let's collab via DM or something in Instagram, and they have the wherewithal to actually come back to you and say, what did you have in mind? And if you have a deer in headlights moment, you should have never reached out in the first place. If you don't have a clear plan in place, then you shouldn't be asking. You should have a very clear idea of what you want from them and how easy it is for them to actually collaborate with you and have reasons for them to do it. And so that was some of it. Plus there's more in the video, but that's some of the thoughts.
It was a good video.
Renee, Renee, you're
See, and
hilarious.
that's the thing is if you're already friends, and it's really easy to reach out to your friends and be like, hey, I need this. Or, I was saying like if Dean Niman or Daniel Batal or someone like that, I'm live streaming, Daniel Batal sees, he makes a comment and I say, hey, you want to come in? All of a sudden he's up on my channel. We're friends. We're just talking. So I said, if it's like a good collab too, sometimes it should feel like a conversation with a friend, not a transactional, what can I get from you type of thing. So that's also a good collab. And also if it's not someone that maybe your audience wants to see or something, if you can't think about like what would be the end result or like what would be the general feeling of your audience watching this, then maybe you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I wonder, like, okay, so being a small YouTuber and like interacting with like new baby YouTubers, they seem to have this like idea that if they do collaborations, like if you have 900 subscribers and you have 900 subscribers, let's just get together and do a collaboration, and then we're gonna both get, and it doesn't really. I always get confused. I'm like, it's not going to work that way. Like if you have a channel that's on whatever cooking and they have a channel on something else and y'all just decide to do a collab and post on each other's channels and they're sitting there going like, well, why didn't those people come over and subscribe to me? Well, they didn't, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's very true because if you're not in the same niche or somewhat adjacent, or you can't make it make sense, like Sophie Dosey did a collab with a very famous photographer, but it became a collab that was actually kind of worthwhile because it was like, how do you pose when you're working with a photographer? And then the photographer was like, how do you take pictures of someone who's doing acrobatic things? And it was like, or like a challenge video or something like that. That like can make sense, but there have been instances where if we went into a Tati Westbrook, very big YouTuber in the beauty space, and then went up with Jeffree Star, huger YouTuber in the beauty space, but problematic past and just troublesome in general. They did a collab together, and even though they're both huge beauty influencers, and you would think, oh yeah, people who like beauty, the amount of hate that she got for collabing with him and the actual mass people that were unsubscribing, it also, you have to take into account, like, maybe my audience hates this person or doesn't want to see this person on my channel. So again, I don't think that one worked out the way that she thought it was going to, but yeah. I'm going to say whatever you can do to make it easy for the other person to say yes and eliminate reasons to say no, and actually have a true, genuine relationship with them. Because if the collab is the only time that you ever see them again, that's a shitty reason to do a collab too. It was just transactional. So like, I would rather do a collab with like my friends. And so one thing, like, I would absolutely collab with like Dean Niman or something, but like, I haven't seen him in 2 years, but we've been friends for 4 years or something. So it's just a calendar, in-person scheduling, weird thing. But if it's just someone I've never seen in my comments before, someone who hits me up cold, and absolutely I've never seen their channel before, I look at their channel and I don't like their content, then no, you don't get a collab out of me.
Yeah.
I like how you said that you don't like the cold calls, and if you've never seen them in your comment section or on your channel, then no.
And the thing is, I recognize people's like avatars, profiles, right? I know that they've commented. So I said it would behoove you more to actually go to someone like that you really like and retweet their videos announcing, tag them in posts and actually make comments on every single one of their videos for 6 months straight before you ever approach them. It's a long game. It's supposed to be,
I might put gold stars on your next video and comment asking for a collab.
And be like, who are you? No, just kidding. Actually, so funny is I was what?
I said, Josh don't count. You're here, Josh, so you don't count. You're good.
Wait, what? Wait, is he making fun of? What's he saying?
No. He was on. We were just talking about how if you don't show up in somebody's comments or on their channel, then you don't say no to collab. And he was just making a joke that he doesn't show up in the comments of the channel. I'm like, no, Josh, you're here though, so you're good. Yeah. Okay, you don't count.
In fact, you know what though? I know that Josh has been here before. I know that when Issa and I were on of the ladies' night, he did a super chat, and like, he has been a supporter, and it's not the first time I've seen him in comments. So here's the thing: is I even know that coming to this channel, I know who Josh is. So you know who Josh is because you're in all of your live streams, and you know the people that comment, and you see it over and over again. So like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still recognize him from being here. You absolutely recognize him from being here. So, Josh, first of all, I know what you're trying to do. Stop it. You're a good guy. Stop it. But,
Josh,
making fun of me. Stop making fun of me. I'm making a point here, people.
Too funny. But the worst.
I'm gonna do it.
You know what? You know what the worst is, Shelley. The worst is when I get like these random people coming to my Twitter DM like, "Oh my god, how can I be on your show?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Who the hell are you? I've never seen you in my life."
All I want to do now.
Yeah, it's the audacity. And that's the problem, is it turns off so many people when it's what I can do for you, and you're looking at me as a dollar sign, as all you want is like, I am the person who's like keeping my audience from you. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. I am more than happy to like, I went on to, and I was explaining this. I said, I have no problem. I have no desire or care to like gatekeep whatever the subscriber number is as a prerequisite for going on someone's channel. So Dana Benz contacted me. She didn't even have 180 subscribers yet or something like that. I didn't care. She was very nice to me. She was kind. She was professional, did an interview on her channel, and it was a scheduling thing. Do I have 40 minutes for this interview? Yes, I did. So I did the collab. Kevin Colby, Rob Balasabas, all these people who've reached out to me and said, Desiree Martinez, I never once cared or looked at their subscriber count. And they said, can you do a 30-second clip on this? Yes, I can. I don't mind. I will do it. So Pixel Pia, she is, I don't even know what her channel size is, but both Dee and I went on to her live stream talking about Clubhouse. She presented us, she's channel member. She presented us in Twitter and asked us professionally if we would show up, gave us a link. Like, I don't care as long as like, I said this before, I was like, people will collab with people that they know, like, and trust. People will also collab with people that they don't know, like, or trust if there's something hugely beneficial in it for them. You know, so if you know, like, and trust the person, I don't care if there's any benefit, upside, or whatever for me, exposure, whatever. I don't care about that. If I like you, if you're my friend, if any of that stuff, or you approach it professionally in some way. But I really dislike it when someone comes to me and says, basically, like, I want your audience.
Help me get subscribers, basically.
Yeah, and it's the same equivalent as give me a shout out. And I'm like, I don't know you. I don't owe you anything. And that's what bothers me the most, is when people come out with the very selfish thing. And that's why I said, like, if the collab isn't actually more beneficial to the other person than you, you're going to have a lower likelihood of them saying yes. But like, also, if it's the first time you've interacted with them, you also have a slim to none chance of them actually saying yes, you know, because that's just not cool. And I also said that, like, I think it's really, really important. I think every once in a while, when you know, like, and trust someone, you don't care what their subscriber size is. You can be that kind of like punch up, punch down, punch your weight like moment where it's like, dude, I remember I had less than 700 subscribers. Andrew Edwards came onto my channel. He has 200,000 subscribers. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Right. And that moment, if you can give that to someone else, I'm not saying
that's kind.
I'm a big moment or anything, but like, I went on the Danish channel.
Putting your heart on your sleeve, Shelley.
No, stop that. We don't do that here. But I'm saying that if like, you know, if something like that happened, Pixel Pia, like, I don't mind going on that channel, and I don't care, like, other people think that it's a big deal that I have like more subscribers than she does, but I don't care about that. You know what I mean? But but for her, having Dee Nimmin, you know, 130,000 subscribers on her channel when you're at 500, let's say, subscribers, is a big deal. It's like, holy crap, this person cares about me as my friend or whatever. Right? It's that moment. And I'm like, if you can give that moment to someone else, and it's not costing you anything, and it's within your means to do so, then every once in a while, I think you should just do it. Yeah.
Indeed. I mean, with me, I'm more likely to collab with people that I see in my comments and live streams and things like that. Or like Shelley said, if you're a professional in the way you approach me and things like that, and you actually have a body of work, because I'm all about vetting people. I'm not just going to show up on your channel if you're not putting in the work. I am a big proponent of putting in the work. So yeah, definitely got to be put in the work.
Yeah, collab with your friends, man. I like it.
Yeah, I've only done like little collabs, but it's only ever been with people who I like genuinely. I just want to hang out with them, and we are like talking about the same subject. Like, I just want to like fangirl about a topic with somebody else who also wants to fangirl stupidly about the same topic, and it's fun. And I don't even, it has nothing to do with subscribers or views or any of the things. It's like, let's hang out and do this awesome thing together.
Yeah, exactly. And those are, I think, just way more. And in fact, if we were talking about iJustine, I feel like her collabs that she does with Rosanna Pansino, those are not growing subscribers to either probably of their channels. It's just them having fun and being
they just genuinely love each other.
At least to me, it feels like they're just friends hanging out together. And so I
like, they're not sisters, but her sister, Roseanne's sister, is also named Justine. Is that the thing?
No,
just
it's Mo, like Molly,
yeah,
or something like that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my kids watch Roseanne Pansino, but I haven't.
I love her. I love her too. I saw her once it was VidCon, and she was getting out of this big black Suburban, and she was going into I can tell you one day, it was about when I was crashing this party at the VidCon hotel, and she got out of this black Suburban, and she's the tiniest little thing you've ever seen.
The tiniest thing in the world.
So cute.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could put you in my pocket. You're so cute.
In my pocket. And how do you get to eat so much cake?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool. I watched a few of her videos, so she's cool.
Yeah.
I crashed VidCon party though. I crashed that hotel. It was a good time.
I'm gonna go to VidCon and crash some things with you, Shelley.
It was like a weird happenstance that it worked, but yeah.
I'm gonna crash when Peter's having a beer on a patio in Banff. I'm crashing that. I'm gonna text you guys.
What is that, Josh? Friendship is greater than clout? Oh my
Yes.
God.
Friendship is greater than clout.
Say it again for the people in the back so they can hear you.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. And here's another thing I'm going to say about that is just because someone that you're friends with is a very large creator, they don't owe you anything. Mm-hmm. And I feel that people should also realize and respect that too, because like I said, I have a motorcycle repair channel and I have 200 subscribers, but my best friend is Rosanna Pansino, and she has a cooking and nerdy nummies series, right? It probably doesn't make sense for her to shout out my channel. And it would be very weird of me to be like, you should give me a collab shout out. Like, that doesn't make sense. And just because you're like friends, you can't go being pissy about it because like they're smart enough to know that their audience will see through that, you know? So
yeah.
Listen, I am like the epitome of not expecting shout out from bigger creators. I have asked Marquette Brownlee, who happens to be the world's most famous tech reviewer, to be on my podcast a few times, and he has been on there, and he's graced with his presence a few times. But I've never asked him to be on his channel. I've never asked him to shout me out or anything like that. All I've asked that man is to come have a conversation with me, and fortunately, he's done me solid coming on my channel a few times to have a conversation. But like Shelley said, I'm not clout chasing him. I'm not trying to like mooch off his audience. I'm just being genuine about it, and we connect a few times. It's cool. What's that?
Yeah, but that's the key, right? It's like and people can tell if you sincerely don't want to mooch off their audience, then people can tell, and then they don't care about hanging out with you.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of the bigger creators probably have to be a bit more guarded because it's like they're always being looked at the angle of how can I use this person to leverage and use their audience and get more growth for myself. And so that's got to be a very sad and lonely, dangerous position to be in sometimes because you're like, does this person actually want to talk to me? Are they going to drop me as soon as like I don't appear on their podcast, or like, are they going to plaster me all over their thumbnails because of my face is famous? And it becomes like this whole, like, you can't even know sometimes if someone is genuine. And if you do that and you take advantage of them kind of in that way because they have a famous face or, a famous channel or something like that, you may get away with that once, but the bridge that you burn, is so not worth it. And it's just better to have some integrity and actually be a human being that's actually effing decent to other human beings. Because if you're living your life in a fishbowl, the worst thing is like when you think someone's like coming along to like be your companion and buddy, and then just turns out that they want to like basically eat all your food. You know what I mean?
It's like what they just said in the chat. Trying to move subscribers on somebody isn't always the greatest idea because, like Shelley was alluding to earlier, if you do get those subscribers to come over to your channel and they don't watch your content, then YouTube's not going to like that too much. Yeah.
Renee, I just want to go for bagels. I don't want to shout out or any of the things. Don't tag me in any Instagrams. Let's just get a bagel. He knows what I'm talking about.
Renee will be he'll be putting you onto some poutine.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Liz promised me some poutine last night on my stream, and I was like, oh my God, yes. Are we talking like cheese curds and gravy and French fries? What is not to love? And I'm like, don't you threaten me with a good time because I will collect.
Come see me, man. Come see me. We'll get this done. We'll get you some poutine and some mountain.
Bagels and poutine.
Ooh, carbs on carbs. Oh yes, I will agree. Poutine is better than you got the beef gravy and you got.
Renee, do you live near? If I say Shea Bend, do you know what I'm talking about? Let's see. Montreal bagels are just New York bagels done right.
That's That's hilarious because, you know, wow, if there was someone from New York up in the house, they might, you know, come at you for fighting words.
I'm at Montreal.
New York, like they take their bagels seriously. Like I'm bringing in my water from like a specific river, you know, seriously.
Renee knows Chez Ben. Chez Ben is the best poutine on the planet.
Yeah. We got some fighting words in the chat tonight. Woo, man, getting a little rowdy down there.
Damn. Jeez, we talk about food. He
Oh,
doesn't hear it, but he knows about it. Yeah, I go there.
That is crazy.
New York took the honey out of it. That's what it was.
Oh, bro.
Well, I'd love to have you guys up here in Canada. I think they need to do one of those VidCons up here somewhere. Not that you guys don't have awesome things that we want to do in America, but
don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Wait, what y'all think? Wait, hold on, Renee. I mean, I like the crust pizza anyway, Renee. So I don't feel sorry. I'm good. But y'all said, no bagel better than LA bagels.
Ooh, I don't know.
Fine word. Oh, Shelley.
No. I don't know bagels well enough to have a real stake in this fight, but I will say that there are some very nice bagels over here, some bagel shops, including if you're ever in Seattle, there's like a bagel shop called El Tana, which is a small artisanal bagelry, if you will. And I think they also do the boiled bagel part, but one of their claims to fame, they have all of these amazing schmears, cream cheese type spreads that are just all homemade, small batch, fantastical creations. And so there's like a very chewy, doughy type of bagel. So if you're into that type of thing, go to El Tana in Seattle. Actually,
what was the other thing you were talking about? At the wharf, you were like, it was like a noodle place or something, and I was like, stop.
No, I'm not sure, but I was going to tell you, like, if you ever need food recommendations in Seattle, you can definitely hit me up because I'm just a fat kid at heart and I love food. So I have a lot of favorite spots in Seattle and I'm happy to share them with some people. Not all people. You'll ruin it, but for some people, yes.
You just hit her up randomly in her DMs for a reference. It's a no.
You're like, where do I go for the sushi? And I'll be like, I'll tell you where not to go. Yeah.
Shelley being selective.
I do. Oh yeah, I will.
I'm not trusting anything now.
And in fact, I have a list. I remember when Andrew came from TubeBuddy, they sent him to help with Seattle YouTube Day, which I was an organizer of. And I sent him a selective list. And so even if he wanted to see some of the recommendations that I gave him, which wasn't all of them, I sent him a list. And it's in his video on his personal channel, the Andrew Can channel, when he was talking about coming to Seattle for that. So there was a list of some places that you can go and sites to see your food to eat.
Basically, we just all need to get a lockdown so we can travel and eat. I think is where this conversation is headed.
Definitely seems that way. Definitely seems that way.
We just need to travel and eat awesome food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Liz. So I know you are niching down and you are splitting into 2 channels. So the main channel that you have now, what is that content going to look like going forward? So
the channel I have now, the content is gonna going forth look like YouTuber type stuff, which I have massive amounts of insecurity to even say out loud, and all kinds of shame, and all the like, who do I think I am, and all of the things. So I feel very unconfident about it, like as I should, because who am I? But what I can see in my math is that people show up for those videos from me. So I mean, there must be some value in my opinion. I don't know.
Well, you do have over 1,000 subscribers, so you clearly know something.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. So anyways, I'm just going to focus on like my journey growing my YouTube channel and helping working with people that I work with, helping on their SEO and stuff, and then growing my second channel. And just keep it kind of the story. Like, I'm just going to keep it the story. Who is it that was talking about, like, when you have a story, you have like an object. You can have like an object as part of the story.
Not sure.
Were you guys in that Clubhouse room?
No, you can't find it on YouTube for whoever said that because it doesn't exist any longer.
Yeah, no. It was Benji. Benji was there.
Permanence. Who would have thought? If there was a place where things could have permanence.
No, you know who it was? It was Daryl Eves was having a conversation with 2 other Eric and another YouTuber. Vyyyper, you were there.
No, I wasn't there that night. I was in the Mr.
You
Beast.
weren't? Okay. So they were talking, and the other guy, who his name was Mark or something, I don't think he's really a YouTuber, but he's like a big YouTube manager guy. And he works for Mr. Beast or something like that. No, he works for that other guy who's really big, and he's
it was Jake Paul's manager, I
Jake
think.
Paul's manager. Yeah.
I remember that I was in that room briefly for 5 minutes, and then I bounced.
Yeah, so he was talking about how you like an object can be part of the story. So I was like, well, maybe that's why people care when I talk about YouTube stuff, because maybe they are like interested in the journey and not necessarily interested in me knowing things. Maybe they are interested in me not knowing.
So Renee said the person that you were thinking about is Hayden Hiller Smith.
Yeah. Were you there? Renee, were you there for that conversation?
Yeah, was there. Renee was there. Yep.
Yeah. So so the channel that I have now, I'm just going to talk about like Clubhouse and YouTube and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
In kind of my own voice, and like different is better than better. And I don't know. Maybe for like older moms who are starting YouTube channels, or I don't know. And then my other channel will just be like meditation and manifesting. And
well, I know you're feeling a little bit insecure about it, but you definitely have value to offer, because again, you are on a journey yourself, and you have amassed over 1,000 subscribers, which is very difficult in itself. So you have value. So don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully the niching thing helps, because I do notice, like Shelley said, she did like that mukbang and lost subscribers. And I'll notice that like I'll post a meditation video, it'll get subscribers. And then the next day I'll post the YouTube video. And then I like basically like, so I've been doing this like seesaw.
No, I'm only laughing because you took something like that's like calming to like one of the most stressful, like maddening types.
Right?
The dichotomy of the two is like,
I know.
That was
Shelley.
funny to me.
Feel free to laugh at me in public about this.
No. I was just having that in my, like, one of the most stress-inducing things that literally causes people to like have meltdowns, and then on the other hand, being like, well, when you feel like you want to pack it in, let's meditate.
Meditate with me. Yeah, I know. I know. So, but you know what? Here's my thing where I will always be. Like, I will always say this, you will always hear me say this till the end of time, is that when I started my YouTube channel, I genuinely had no idea what I wanted to do. So I just did all the things. So a year ago when I started on YouTube, if you would have told me that I would have enjoyed talking about YouTube stuff and would have only wanted to then also talk about like meditation and manifesting, I wouldn't have thought that was where my channel was going to go.
And you don't know until you try it and taste it.
You don't know
what
until
you don't want to talk. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why sometimes, yes. I mean, like, that's why I'm always like, you can go 2 ways. You can toss some spaghetti at the wall, or you can like go hard on one thing, you know? So there's pluses and minuses to both. So I don't think any of the paths are wrong. They're just your path, you know?
Totally.
Feel good about.
So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be good.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to be good. I mean, I think you're going to do amazingly. Hell yeah.
I think it'll make a lot more sense, and it'll be easier to film, because can you imagine trying to batch film a YouTube video and then do a meditation right after? No. Where you can batch film like 4 meditation videos.
You better get on that to pose. You better get on that. He's waiting for those Tijuana videos.
Tijuana? What are Tijuana videos? Oh.
So on that note, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up. I appreciate you all hanging out.
Thanks for letting me crash. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for crashing.
Thank you with you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Liv, for spending some time. And thank you guys for watching live tonight. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, Tai Chi videos. Okay. I'm like, huh? Okay. Gotcha. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Appreciate it. We will be back sometime this week. I don't know if I'm gonna shoot a podcast weekend. I don't know. I haven't really made that decision yet, but there will be a new video on the main channel out at some point tomorrow. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But as far as when I'll be live again, not sure. Don't know if I might go. I don't know if I'm gonna do a podcast this week or not. I might get the podcast. So we'll see. I don't know. Once again, thank you to listening, Shelley. Love you, ladies. Always a blast talking to you all. And I'm pretty sure I will catch you on the Clubhouse and any Twitters and all that good stuff. All the good things. All of the things.
All the places.
All of the things. On that note, we done. But until the next time, people, this your boy Vyyyper, the man about tech. You know where to find me. So come back for more.